And we're live. Okay. Welcome to session 9 of the Wandering Players. We're almost out of single digits. I'm your dungeon master for today, ForceWorks 1, ForceWorks Productions. Before we get started, let's do a quick round of introduction of our players. I'm going to start in the order of my screen. So, Schilling, let's start with you.
Hello, hello. My name is Mark Schilling, and I play Bog, the lizard folk cleric.
Keith.
My name is Keith Murray. I play Ian Nile, and my character is the Paladin Charlatan.
Mikey.
Hi, my name is Mike Pelletier. I play Vibrant Scale, who is a Tabaxi sorcerer who's attached to his tail.
Molly.
Hi, I'm Molly. I play Fletch, the Kenku Druid.
Mark.
What's up, guys? My name's Mark. I am a ranger who doesn't like giants.
Leslie.
I am Leslie, and I play Juniper Moon.
We're going to have to move the mic a little bit closer to you, Leslie.
All right.
There it is.
My name is Leslie, and I play a Tabaxi rogue whose name is Juniper Moon.
Excellent. Jason.
I'm Jason Thigpen. I play a wood elf monk named Deimos Lunaros. And I don't like many people.
Happens.
It does. It does. And before we get fully started, I do want to thank a couple. They're not sponsors, so who knows? Maybe one day they will be. But our online tools for today, we do use D&D Beyond for all of our campaign management encounters and character sheets. Sirenscape, which we'll be utilizing for the background sound effects and the music. So if you're listening right now, you should hear a little bit of an environmental windy sound of the mountains. We'll play with that a little bit more today. And then Owlbear Rodeo, which provides our virtual tabletop to allow us to, track all the battle encounters. So with that said, I think we're ready to recap where we left off in the last session. So, upon leaving the dwarves and the mine of the Mountain's Toe, you began your trek into the Sword Mountains, making your way towards the Icespire Hold in search of this, to date, elusive white dragon. The freshly christened New Wandering Order. You spent the first day navigating the treacherous mountain paths, crossing narrow ravines, icy streams, steep grades, and even a small landslide. Fortunately, only a few cuts and bruises amongst you. You found camp for the night amongst the sheltered trees. It was on the third watch with Bog and Vibrant that Bog noticed something approaching, which turned out to be a giant Ettin. After distracting the giant while the party made ready, the majority of you battled the creature, and with the assistance of a well-cast hideous laughter by Juniper, were able to dispatch the Ettin before it was able to even raise its weapons to anyone in the group. After a slightly tense exchange between Duros and Deimos, who stayed hidden and await during the encounter, about marking and claiming trophies of the Ettin's corpse, and to a lesser extent Vibrant, the group settled back into its rest, waiting for the morning light to come and illuminate the journey still ahead of you. With that New Wandering Order, the remainder of your rest ends without any further hazards or encounters. As the dark sky turns gray with the morning, the chill wind begins to blow harder, and a light snowfall comes down around you. What would you like to do?
If I can retcon a little bit, Vibrant, do you have detect magic at all ever, or no?
No, I do not.
Okay. So I wanted to get those ridiculously smooth stones I found looked at.
Oh. I have Arcana. I could look at it, but...
If you want to take a look at them and make an Arcana check, we can do that.
Alright. Where did that go? There she is. Wow, this is... There she is. Okay. Arcana is a +2. Alright. 14.
14. You take the stones from Bog and you roll them around in your fingers. You're checking the weight. You're looking for anything, a runic inscription, anything that you could find. to the best of your knowledge and ability, they appear to just be smooth, shapen stones. I like the taste
In the
test
back.
there.
You gotta be thorough.
All right. Two more things Bog wants to do. One retconned and two now. When the argument was going on and Bog was kind of off to the back, like just, working on stuff for Fletch and Deimos, he was picking up on everything. I want to know if with my heightened senses and observational skills, if Deimos was really just out for himself, or if there was some sort of like thing he was maybe backing off of or hiding in the exchange. Like.
You asking me,
No, I think he's asking me based on his passive
or
insight.
is he inner monologuing?
Yeah, it's a little bit of inner monologue. So based on your passive insight, and typically this would be where we'd go whisper in the ear kind of thing, but we'll just do it here.
Right.
He feels to be telling the truth for the most part. There's obviously things that he's keeping closer to his vest and he's not willing to share. But from what you can tell, his motivations don't seem to be disingenuous, what he said to you. It's just there's more to the story, and he's not opening to that just yet.
Okay, so Bog, sensing, and why I'm doing this, by the way, guys, is I just figured out, if any of you have ever seen Inside Out, like that's what you are to Bog. Like you are his emotions outside of his body. Of course, he has none. So Bog, wakes everybody up, and he goes over to Deimos and says, well, good morning, Deimos. So yeah, quick team meeting after talking to Seminaya. Yes, my goddess, yeah. He hands you a bag that's rather heavy, and he goes, first off, here's your bone caltrops. Yeah. Extra sharp, like sticking your foot on a Lego, whatever those are. Yeah. But I know we all had a little issue with the carving and all, but I know you're a good person, Deimos, because old Bog here doesn't think you're a super good liar. I think your motivations to survive is a little bit deeper than we know. So whenever you're ready to talk about it, Bog's always here to listen. And there's a little something extra in that bag for you in case, you may owe some people that human money. And in the bag underneath his caltrops are 50 gold pieces. And then Bog just looks at everybody. And besides, guys, we're a team. Everybody helps take out the people. And I don't really care because when we hunted lizard folk, as long as the tribe survives, we're okay. But if it helps save, our friendship and solve the argument, if it wasn't for your old pal Bog sensing the ambush first, they'd probably be making spoons out of us right now. Speaking of, and he walks over to Fletch with this huge, contraption, puts it down. It's basically like a large skull from one of the Enten's heads, but cut in half, and the foot is kind of sawed down and made into a tripod. So he sets it up. No. Sorry, a lot of moving parts. So Fletchy, I was thinking, when you're doing all this cooking and whatnot, I don't want you getting roasted yourself, yeah. So when it comes to baking, I made you this portable like a oven camp stove, yeah. And he shows you he opens the drawer of the mouth and he's like, so what you do is you put the stuff in here and close the drawer and light the fire and you bake human stuff like bread. Now it's kind of small and it's gonna be really easy for you to use. So I think I'm gonna call it an easy bake oven. Yeah, that's what I got. You know, specifically made for little Kinku fingers. Yeah. Maybe you guys will have some bread tonight. I'm just gonna go eat some of this this Enten's bicep off. Yeah.
We can make
Bog
one
is
tiny
monologuing for the game.
line.
Bog like wanders off all happy, gets the arm, comes back, gets on the snapper, puts a big pile down in front of Fletch.
Fletch gives him a
Girls,
hug.
you don't know what you're missing, man. You gotta try this.
Okay.
Duros is gonna pocket that for later.
Not a breakfast man, I see. No problem, no problem.
So
Open
go
the.
ahead.
I'm gonna open the bag, and I'm gonna stare at the gold pieces, and I'm gonna look up and I'm gonna look around, and I'm gonna give Bog the head nod and understand his well-timed donation to the organization. And I'm going to say, many thanks. This contribution doesn't go unnoticed. And as to your first request, I'll take it into advisement, and maybe at a later date, I'll tell you everything.
When you're ready. It's all about survival, yeah. That's why you got good old Bog to heal you guys, yeah.
And the caltrops, to the DM, are they like finite? Do I have how many of them? How many uses? Like, how do we want to handle that?
Bog, how many did you make?
It says I can make 1d4 on a short rest, so I'm considering since we had a long rest, I would have been doing this to campfire. Maybe I could give him a full 8. What do you want me to roll? 2 4-sided dice? How do you want to?
Let's roll 2 4-sided dice and see how many you were successful in making.
All right.
I like a little bit of
so-
randomness here. I can't be too easy.
Yeah, having shit.
That didn't count. It's on the floor.
That's on the floor. That was a 1. That wouldn't be good. We're not having a good roll today, guys. All right, that's a 4.
Okay.
That's also out of a box. And a 1, so he has 5.
Okay. So you got 5 caltrops. What we're gonna do is they're finite as long as you pick them up, though. We can continue. Like, you can continue to use them. I'm gonna kind of treat them a little bit like arrows in some way. If you reclaim an arrow, you keep that kind of deal. We'll do the same thing with the caltrops. And then for purposes of this, there's nothing particularly special about them other than they're a bog creation. So they'll just follow the standard caltrops statistics from the items.
And what kind of damage do they do when somebody steps on them?
I'll have to check. It's probably something like a 1d4.
Sounds good. All right.
Anything anybody else would like to do this morning as you wake up and prepare yourselves?
Nope. I will stretch and go kind of like peer out into the. Are we in snow yet, or is it just cold?
No, it is snowing. So at this point, it's cold. It's definitely below freezing at this stage. The snow that's falling, it almost feels like it's that light, wet, heavy snow. You know what I mean? Where it's coming down and it's just sticking to everything.
And it's just dead quiet.
Yeah, and you still, what you're also noticing too, and you've been adjusting a bit overnight, but your breath is a bit more difficult. Like, the elevation has started to catch up with you. You're probably above the 10,000 foot line at this stage. After a day's worth of travel into the mountains, you've at least gone, a mile and a half upwards, if not more. So you are feeling a little bit labored in your breathing. Just as you take a deep breath, it's like not quite as deep as you usually would be able to.
Can we do any kind of check? Anybody who's got spells and detect things, is this just plain old snow, or are we getting closer to something that's causing this? Because I know we're going after, the ice dragon hit the manticore, so I'm a little concerned that maybe this is, dragon made and not entirely artificial.
If anybody wanted to make a nature check or something like that, or whatever, you tell me what checks you'd like to make, and I'll.
You guys have the abilities, so I'm just throwing it out there.
See what Bog can do.
I had
Just
to do
out
a nature.
looking out in the snow, just nose in the air and just breathing it in.
Flesh, you said you had nature.
I had a nature.
Do you want to make
I have
a nature check to see if there's anything strange about the snow?
All of 10.
It seems like
I'll
normal
roll
snow.
one.
You catch a bit on your tongue and it melts right away. So. Okay, go ahead, Damos.
16.
16.
And-
Yes.
Can I, Bog, make a? I'll let you pick it. I'm thinking you could either do survival or perception.
For this one, let's do survival.
Okay.
I feel like that's more appropriate. So Damos, with your check, it seems like normal snow. I mean, it's falling, it's melting. You're cold, you're wet. Even to the taste, it doesn't seem like there's. It tastes like water. It tastes like just pure water. So.
And I did end up taking the mobile feat just to clarify
Okay,
things.
Perfect. Just make sure you update your sheet with that, and we got it. So.
It is.
Okay, Bog, go ahead.
23.
A 23. Yeah, you're convinced this is just normal snow. It's mountain snow. Doesn't seem to be any ill effects.
Hey guys, we're in snow.
Yes. Which direction shall we head?
At this
You
point,
just
you really have up or down, by the way, just based on where you're going. So it's
Going up, right?
Up and over.
Up and
Yeah.
over.
How high is the
way we didn't come
is
from.
the cliff above us?
so the mountains continue up to the point where, like, the cloudiness, you can't actually see the tops. The way you're progressing is you're moving in a eastward, upward direction for the most part.
Well, I was looking at the owl bear to see this cliff above us, and I was thinking
Oh.
of scaling it to kind of determine which direction we should go in.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, so you could try to scale it, but the reality is what you don't see in the owlbear off to that right side with the cliff. Essentially, that just continues to kind of raise up to the top of the mountains. So
Gotcha.
your visibility is going to be limited between both the height, the snow. You don't have a significant range to see very far ahead, but you can tell that you can either go back way you came or continue in the forward trajectory.
On Owlbear North, the top of the screen is north.
Actually, for this one, the top of the screen north would actually be more to the southeast on this. So you came from the northwest, and then you're kind of progressing. This was just for the encounter with the Yetin, so it's not an exact
So at least
approximation.
you're going in the direction that we were coming from
Right.
as we were going.
The same trajectory. Yep.
Yes, that.
Okay.
Yes.
So a couple things on the group checks this time as we start the second day into the mountains. Since we are at a higher altitude, that does have an impact on travel. So where you normally would be able to travel a certain distance in about 8 hours, because of the higher altitude and because none of you are used to that and haven't been up here long enough to become used to that, each hour of travel actually counts for 2. I'm pulling these from the DM's guide, so I just want to clarify some of these things. So we're going to move a bit slower, partially because of the elevation. We're going to continue with the survival checks that we were doing before. And just so everybody is aware what those checks were the first time, and same thing here, those checks are essentially to make sure you don't get lost, right? That you're continuing in a path that doesn't take you down either the wrong area or to a hazard that maybe you normally wouldn't have encountered. So that's what those initial checks are for as a group when we do those survival checks. I do want to establish marching order before we get started, but we'll get to that in a second. I just want to know what order everybody's walking in and who has point. The cold right now is below freezing. If it gets significantly colder as we get into the night, there will be some checks that we'll go over for that, like for Constitution, for example. But right now it's tolerable. Because of the wind, the wind at this stage is, blustery, and it's starting to continue to gust at ways. As we continue, that may have an impact on, say, the flight of an arrow. or thrown weapons or anything from range. So we'll talk through that when that happens. And then the last thing is, and this was based on some feedback, Mikey and I had a nice conversation separate from this. As we get to some of these encounters, I'm going to provide you a little bit more of an open forum for some options before we decide what to do. So if we come to an obstacle or a hazard, and this kind of goes back to some of the discussion we had in the last session where it was like, well, after this, could I have done that? And I was like, well, this already happened. But I want to kind of get your mindsets of, well, what would I want to do? How would I want to avoid this? How would I want to go around it? And then we'll do the necessary checks as opposed to everybody just kind of doing the singular checks and where things fall out. So hopefully that'll give you guys more opportunity to use your skills, more opportunities to role play a bit. And I thought it was really good feedback from Mikey, so we're going to incorporate it. So with that said, are we ready for day 2?
Already.
I'm not sure what the whole thing's going on in the Duros and Fletch window, but that was...
Well, I'm crushing it. We were crushing it.
One of us is falling off this mountain.
And I said it was probably going to be me because I'm so small.
Yeah.
If only there was a different form you could take that would climb up mountains.
So first things first, I would like to establish marching orders. So tell me what order you guys are going to be beginning your journey into the upper reaches of the mountain. Bog is 2. Okay.
I'll go first. I'm assuming if there's snow on the ground, I'm probably going to be the most comfortable walking around in snow.
I will flank Bog.
Okay.
Because I don't want to be directly behind anyone, and more importantly, like the terrain doesn't slow me down. If I need to, I can move quite effectively.
So for purposes of that, just so you know, so when you right now it's easy to walk 2 by 2. Whoa, my chair just came off your back. That was scary. So it's easy to walk 2 by 2. But for when we go single file, I'm just going to have you fall in behind him for purposes of the order. Then you come back out when you need to.
Okay.
We'll do it that way.
And when we go single file, I kind of set a Bog, unless I say otherwise, always drops down crocodile style and like slinks and crawls on all fours, so everybody else can see over him and shoot over him if they have to.
Okay. So I've got Vibrant, Bog, Deimos with the flank. Who's in our 4th position?
We'll take up the rear.
Okay, so Juniper's in 4th. I've got. So for the purposes of the rear, is it kind of a Duros and Fletch flanking, or is it one behind? Who's in the very back?
You want to be in the very back?
I'll take the back. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it would make sense for the smallest party ever to be in the back.
Probably.
It's me, Juniper, and Duros and Fletch.
Perfect. Okay, so we have our order. So what I'd like everybody to do is you start off is make your survival check, please. And I'm going to fix my chair while you do that because this is bugging me. Okay.
Ouch.
It's a box 1 foot in front of me.
And I'll call out because I'm going to go in the order of the screen just so I can talk over each other. So Bog, let me know your roll first.
18.
18. Ian? Mikey?
14.
Fletch?
I got 19.
Duros?
14.
Deimos?
5.
And last but not least, Juniper. Couldn't hear you at all. Sorry, you're too far.
7.
Okay. So there's a few points in times where you kind of pause a bit and have to kind of get your bearings. But for the most part, you continue in what you believe is the proper direction, eastward and upward. The first hour is rather uneventful. You're enjoying, to the degree that you can, the cold morning. And the snow's actually fairly beautiful as it's falling on the rocks around you and so forth. And then you come across...
What?
Let me share screen, actually, so the audience at home can see this.
Very cool.
I've seen this. There's an ice castle somewhere on the other side of this, right?
Yes, and somebody
There's
in
gonna be an
a
ice
blue
monster.
dress singing something about letting it go. Yes, it's a. So you come up to a narrow, ice-covered bridge. Let me put on the music for that.
The snow glows white, one would say.
On the mountain tonight.
And the bridge itself crosses. You take a peek down. From what you can gather, it's about a 40-foot drop before the ravine kind of starts to close in on itself a bit. But it's a wooden suspension bridge. Ice and snow have kind of covered some of the planks, and it would be a span of about 45 feet to cross from end to end.
I would
Decisions.
I would probably just try to. Let's just go across it. If it
How
looks,
long is it? How long is this bridge again?
It's about 45 feet across from
Okay.
end to end. But the width of the bridge is single file. It's barely 5 feet at that. Honestly, it's 5 feet more from rope to rope than it is from end to end.
How hard is the wind whipping?
At this point, it's blustery, but not to the point that you feel like you're losing your balance, at least on solid ground. As you watch the bridge, it has a slight sway to it, but it's not violent.
Bog,
So time,
What was that?
one at a time.
I'm gonna go first. Do we need to roll initiative or no?
No, not for this. So if you want to go first, make a dexterity or acrobatics check. Actually, it's kind of the same. So an acrobatics check. If you don't have acrobatics, it's just a straight dex roll.
while he's doing that, Bog wants to grab him by the shoulder first before he goes to do that. Hang on, Deimos. Guys, I got an idea. Bog's going to take out his 50 feet of hempen rope from his, adventurer's pack, whatever. He's going to, lash it around his body, like in an X form. Does anybody else have some of this rope stuff?
I do.
Got rope.
Can I borrow it, Duros?
Yeah, go for it. I'm gonna
And
toss my rope.
I tie part of it as well. So between the wrap and the 50 and 50, I think we got at least enough to cover the bridge. I'm going to hand it to Deimos and be like, Deimos, in case the bridge gives out, I got you. I'm going to be like one of those anchor things, yeah. And then everybody should go across in weight order, and I'll be last. And if I break this thing, hopefully you all can pull my lizard ass up from this 40-foot crevice, yeah.
Okay.
And Bog is literally gonna get down on, find whatever hard packed snow, all fours, kind of dig in and just brace himself in case Deimos goes for a drop.
Okay. So I'm gonna go to the other side of the bridge. I'm gonna walk across.
Okay. Did you make your acrobatics check?
Oh, sorry. 21.
21. So, nimbly, even for a rather large elf, you right across the bridge. You don't hear any planks break or crack or anything like that. It seems fairly easy for you.
I would like to use my spear and then the hammer that I have in my pack, and I'm gonna use it like a spike and tie off the rope that was tied to me to the end, and to make sure it's secure to tether to so my group can hold on to it, just in case the bridge does collapse or anything like that. They can military shimmy across it.
Okay.
You don't want to take the rope and tie it and have Bog pull it back and tie it to the next person going across, so that way the person who is potentially falling doesn't have to try to save themselves by holding onto a rope.
It's already tied to Bog. The rope was tied to me and then to Bog, and now it's tied to my.
Well, don't we want to tie each person to the rope so that way if they start to fall, Bog can grab them as opposed to them trying to grab a static rope?
Well, they're holding on. Well, Bog is holding the rope.
No, I understand.
Understand that?
So,
Okay.
So, say it's there. This is
Oh,
the
so you
rope,
wanna-
and
so you
it's
rather
tied to
have
this
them-
person. You don't want to tie it to the person walking across, so they don't have to try to when they're falling into the to their death. If they have to then
I'm
grab
just
a
gonna
rope
sprint
above
across.
them.
Oh, okay. Well,
Vibrant,
I'm just
go,
gonna sprint across.
Vibrant, go ahead and make your acrobatics check.
I think what she's trying to say is that it's going to be easier for all of us to do the exact same thing that Deimos just did, rather than if
Roger
the
that.
bridge breaks, to roll some other extra roll to try to grab the rope.
okay.
I'm assuming that's what she means.
So-
Yes.
Well, they'd be holding on to the rope already. It's not like it's dangling above their head or anything. But if she wants to do it that way, go for it.
So I rolled a 17. I sprint across.
Yep. So while this conversation's happening about which is the best tactic to take, Vibrant just feline grace right across the bridge, no issues.
No, I'm probably about 100 pounds heavier than Deimos. Just saying.
Yeah.
Jesus.
But
I'm on the other side like this.
Yep.
Huh?
So
Juniper is just gonna sprint across too. I rolled a 25.
even easier. So between the wood elf and the two cats, there's now 3 on the other side, kind of going, "What's up?" No challenge.
Want to go first? All right, I'll give it a go. Let's do it.
Are you going with or without rope? Just curious.
Oh God.
Well, no, in the whole scheme of things, I'm like 45 feet, 50 feet away from you guys. So how would I even hear the thing?
Well, 45, 50 feet, you could still... I mean, people are probably
hear?
talking aloud.
Like shouting?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the wind carries the sound a little bit, so...
Okay.
But there is some suspension of, belief, obviously, as we're going through this. But.
Okay. So I pull up my spear and I kind of shuck the rope back onto the bridge and just waiting for Bog to either pull it back or do nothing.
Bog's reeling it in. I saw that. Okay. So Duros, are you going to tie off, or what do you want to do?
Yeah. I'm gonna securely tie the rope to my body.
Okay. Make your acrobatics check.
Ranger buddy, you got this.
Famous last words.
How it goes.
What was it? Acrobatics?
Yes.
19.
19. So you tie off the rope, you walk across, and there's one part where you get a little tentative that the board may not be right for your footing, but otherwise you're on the other side safely.
Right. Same deal. Untie the rope, throw it back.
Is it just me? Okay, tie myself in.
It's you and Snapper.
Oh, me and Snap.
And Ian. Ian hasn't crossed yet either. So.
Oh yeah.
I probably more than her and Snapper combined, so I'll let them go first.
Unless I tie it to Snapper first and have him go, or is he gonna freak out?
I don't know. You want one of us to try to call him?
Well, I might have to go across if we're gonna call him.
I mean, I have speak with animals.
Oh yeah, you gonna talk to Snap?
Can the two of them have advantage for the sake of the story? There's no way a 65-pound bird and a 30-pound dog should fall off this bridge.
If anybody's gonna do it, it's gonna be me.
Well, part of it's the weight of the bridge. The other part is it is snowy, it is icy, and it is. I mean, you've seen smaller people just fall in a parking lot.
I see
and
like
hit
a
the car,
self-proclaimed
So
cyclist.
there's other factors involved besides weight. So
I'll tie
Hey,
it.
Fletch, aren't you a self-proclaimed klutz? Klutz?
I'm gonna tie the rope to Snapper, and Duros is gonna give him a call.
I'm gonna cast speak with animals.
okay.
Have him come across the bridge carefully.
While I encourage him from the other side. Come on,
Okay.
then.
So you did speak with animals. So Duros, I'd like you to make a persuasion check. And Fletch, I'd like you to make an animal handling check.
All of 9 for me.
16.
9 and 16. So Snapper very tentatively kind of starts to step out on the bridge. You see him pull his paw back. He kind of looks back over his shoulder at Fletch. and then looks forward again. There's a slight whimper when he does this. Duras, you call him forward, and with the he starts to kind of
Come on, buddy.
step.
Come on.
Gently and slowly. He pauses a few times, looks back at Fletch, but your calls continue to compel him to move forward. And it takes a few minutes. It's not easy. And at one point, he kind of lays down in the middle of the bridge like he's not going to move his shoulder. But
Wow,
then
it's our
eventually,
actual dog.
but then eventually, you're able to get him to get up and move to the other side. And Snapper is
All
safely
right.
across. Yes, you can tell when somebody has dogs, right? Because we're real.
You're just like,
All right, I'm gonna untie the rope, throw it back,
give Snapper some jerky.
and give Snapper some jerky.
Oh, he
Have him.
Maybe that
yeah
meat in your
he
pocket.
takes that and just
Call him a good boy.
and quickly moves away from the edge. He moves as far away from the edge as he can. So
All right, my turn. I tie myself in.
okay. Make your acrobatics check.
Oh my god.
Ooh,
6.
ooh.
A 6. So
Boy,
as you're crossing, you get about halfway, and there is a sudden just burst of wind, and you start to try to get your footing quickly because it and you slip, and you actually fall through like underneath the rope off to the edge, and as you fall, the rope starts to become taut bog that you're holding on to. Make a strength check, please.
Hold on. I gotta get my sheet up here.
And actually, because of the way it's falling, and it's also still kind of wrapped around the bridge, you can make the check with advantage because you've got a little bit of a winching pulling system.
Okay. Strength check. Okay. Here we go. Let me put this down here. Hold on a second. I'm gonna get back to you guys for the video. Okay, first roll is a 6.
Okay, roll the second one because you got advantage on this. Come on, muscles.
Thank Jesus. 18.
18. Yeah. So as you slip through and the rope is wrapping around the bridge, the slack starts to disappear, Bog, and you immediately just catch it. And because of the light weight of Fletch, the relative light weight to you at least, and the fact that it's wrapped around the bridge, you're able to hold her in place. So she only ends up falling about 5 or 6 feet. Do you want to try to pull her up, Fletch? Do you want to see if you could reach?
So
go ahead, Vibrant.
if I see Fletch drop, and I see Bog kind of sit on the rope, and the rope tightens, I'm gonna just kind of like reach out. I'm just gonna do this, and you're gonna see Fletch just kind of like pick up. If she chooses to fail her save, she'll get picked up and like placed back on top of the bridge.
If I'm gonna get back on the bridge, that's all I care about. I'm just gonna be on the bridge.
So she's just gonna be like the heart fall. She's gonna go down, and I'm just gonna pick her back up, put her on the bridge, and that's my telekinetic shove that I have that I can push or pull someone within 30 feet, 5 feet.
Perfect. So yeah, so that lifts. So Fletch, as you fall, the rope Bog grabs it, and all of a sudden you just kind of feel like, and all of a sudden you're bounced back up onto the bridge itself, almost like nothing happened.
Just on the bridge, kind of shaking a little bit.
Just holding the rope like.
I hate this game. I'm my own self-fulfilling prophecy.
So since you made it halfway before that happened, I need you to make one more acrobatics check for me.
Oh my god! I got a 5.
Oh, so you get back on. You make it about 3/4 of the way, and this time a board cracks underneath and your foot falls through. You don't fall off the bridge though, but the board breaks and your foot goes in. Make a dexterity saving throw for me, please.
Alright. And this one is dirty 20.
Dirty 20. So you're able to, as soon as you feel it, you're like, the adrenaline kicks in. You don't want to have that experience again. You leap forward and you make it to the other side of the bridge. You're prone on the ground, kind of with the rope still attached to you.
They like army scramble up and away from the bridge and untie and throw the rope and go snuggle Snapper.
Snapper's still cleaning jerky out of his teeth, but he's happy to see you. So
I'll take the rope, and now that Bog's going to come across, I'll wrap. I'm assuming I'm probably the heaviest.
we
for the weight.
still have Ian. Ian has not gone
Oh,
yet.
that's right. Ian's all right.
Just gonna leave me there?
I almost did.
Leaving there.
What, did you die though?
Miscounted how many people were across already.
It's all good. There's a lot that happened there in that one little set.
I will take the rope
Okay.
and tie it around myself because my dice rolls are probably going to be worse than Fletch's.
Make your acrobatics.
Yeah, good thing too. I rolled a 2.
Ooh.
Oh no. Welcome to the Bad Roll Club.
So
You said this bridge is 45 feet.
yeah, 45 feet.
Yeah, I can't reach him right now.
So
Can you use your staff?
Hoping Bog can bear my weight.
yeah, so as you start to cross, make a dex saving throw for me.
11.
11. Okay, so as you start to cross, you've got the rope tied. You've got your shield in one hand, and you're kind of using your other hand with the rope. The wind picks up just a bit and kind of catches your shield, but that's not really the issue. You misstep on the ice, and as you misstep, you fall right onto your tailbone, onto the bridge itself.
My cox.
Yes, your coccyx, but I didn't want to get Mark any material that he could engage with. So as soon as you,
I'm an adult, sir.
What?
I meant the other Mark. So as you slip and you fall onto your tailbone, you're able to, as you start to feel kind of yourself starting to slip through the side of the rope, you're able to grab the rope on the bridge, but you are prone now, sitting on the bridge, holding the rope, not having quite fallen off.
I try to scramble up and get my feet underneath me.
Make another acrobatics check.
14.
14. So you're able to get back to your feet very tentatively and start to move across the bridge. It's still shaky, but with a 14, you almost make it across until you step on the board that Fletch had broken previously. So I need you to make another dex save.
18.
18. So fortunately, again, you step on it, you feel it give, and now the board's gone. So now there's now a space between two boards where the one had broken before from Fletch, now it's completely fallen through. But you're able to, again, push yourself forward, almost in a little bit of a leap for that last little bit, and get to the other side of the bridge.
And how much does Bog weigh?
Bog, I was just going to say this.
Because I'll take the rope.
That'd be a good idea. Bog weighs 265 pounds. Is he too wide to even go across this bridge? Because I'll be, play accurate to the character's size.
Yeah,
Go sideways.
I mean, your width, you're not wider than 5 feet, right? So I'm gonna say that if you're going across to normal, you would be able to fit across it widthwise. That should be fine.
All right, so Bog, you hear him mutter himself.
But what if we keep the other side of the rope and kind of all hold on to it?
Can I shift into a different creature with wild shape that's stronger? I can help just in case.
If you'd like to, I think because Ian, you were gonna hold on to part of it too, right? So
Yeah, I was originally going to wrap it around me because I'm 215 pounds. So I figured I would be a solid mass to hold on to. But if there's going to be she's going to.
Let's all grab it.
Well, we can't.
Can't hurt, right?
I'm all for tying it around a bigger beast. If Fletch transforms into I believe she was going to do a warhorse.
It's a tug of war. Bog actually yells across. Yeah, if everybody could grab the tag rope, that'd be great. Just throwing that out there. Yeah.
Can I wild shape into a warhorse?
What's your wild shape do at level 4? That should be fine.
Everything she has anything without
Challenger.
flying and special abilities like that, as long as it's half CR or less.
Have you always been
Morphin time!
Yeah, she's always had that. That's a druid thing. She just hasn't used it.
Holy shit!
You've had an extra pair of gloves this entire time?
Yep, that's absolutely fine. Okay. Yep. So, is that what you want to do?
That's what I want to do.
Okay. So those of you watching, see as Fletch's form, she starts to kind of bend forward and become much larger. The black feathers transition into a black skin of this large warhorse with a black mane that just flows down. And she almost does kind of that little black stallion kind of rise up kind of thing as she puts her hooves down. And now there's this large horse just ready to do what it needs to do.
What's it like?
Not doing that again. I don't do it on request. But my sinuses are clear now, so thank you.
So Bog tentatively walks up to the bridge. He turns around, uses his tail to tap on as many boards in a row as he can. He's gonna get down all fours.
So before you do that, just one. So Fletch turned into a horse. Did anybody put a rope on her or anything yet? I mean,
yeah. So
sorry.
Take off.
Tie her off, and then I'm gonna hold on to it in front of her too.
Same. I'm gonna hold on to it as well and just kind of slowly back her up just to keep the tension on it as Bog comes across.
Okay. I wanted to check. We were missing a step in there. So Bog, continue, please.
He gets down on all fours to displace his weight as much as possible, and he's gonna try to make it across this bridge.
Make your acrobatics check.
Great. 6'11" Blizzard. Try to make an acrobatics check.
The Doppler effect makes that ice cream truck sound ridiculously sinister.
It's terrifying.
Lizzie had a +2.
Is that your...
That's a 16.
A 16. So you get down all fours. You start to shimmy across to you're testing each board as you go. Your companion's on the other side, holding the rope taut. So as you move forward, the slack lessens. So there's not going to be as much of a shock if you did fall. And there's a few moments where you're like, this is a really bad idea. No, really, this is a really bad idea. But once you get past the halfway point, you start to get more comfortable. You notice the board that Fletch and Ian had stepped into, now missing. You move over that, and you find yourself safely on the other side.
So when Bog got right to the end, as if it was the corner of a ring, he kind of just jumps, reaching out, and then taps the first person he can find and gets on the ground. And if you've ever seen a crocodile hyperventilate, you see one now. It's kind of
I'm gonna grab him by the arm and pull him upright.
Thanks, Deimos. No problem, guys. Yeah, and he kind of takes the rope, takes back, gives. Actually, he's like, Duros, I'll give you your half back later. We might need to do this again. Then you hear him mutter to himself, Dear Simonaya, please don't let us have to do that again.
Imagine Duros on the back of Fletch right now. Yes, this is how I'll be walking the rest of the way.
Better not.
Are you gonna stay a warhorse?
No, I'll sit back.
Okay. So now you see the horse start to shrink in its form. The feathers start to sprout again from the skin. The beak, coming out from where the horse is. What do they call the horse's mouth area? You doing?
It's just a
Muzzle.
snout.
The snout.
Muzzle.
Yeah.
Snout.
So that changes into the beak, and Fletch, as you know her, reemerges.
We should have had Bog make us a sled out of the giant skeleton.
I mean, I could still carry all of the packs and stuff, but the horses aren't super great. Not war horses for climbing mountains.
Fair.
You have
Fair point.
a mountain pony, perhaps. Perhaps if I was a goat.
War pony.
War pony.
So you're safely across the bridge, and you're continuing on, I assume, at this point?
Let's do it.
Please make a survival check.
Wait, I forgot to do this.
Wait, that's me, right? The cleric is the this thing.
got a 14.
An hour radius.
Yeah, but I stopped sharing it for now. So we're just going to go back to your marching order unless you
okay.
want it to be something different. Do you want to change the
Yep,
marching
yep,
order? Or? Okay.
No.
Okay.
And this is a survival check, right?
This is a survival check, yeah. So Bog, we'll
I have an
start with you
18.
first, please. 1 sec, we'll go around.
18.
18, Ian.
19.
Survival check.
19, Vibrant.
8.
Fletch.
13.
Duros.
14.
Deimos.
18.
Juniper.
12.
Okay. So you continue on for a bit, but then the path splits a bit. So as you get to the crossroads, Vibrant, you're in the point, the rest of the group, you kind of look left, you look right, you're trying to decide. They both seem to lead up, but they go in slightly different directions at the top. So you decide to take one path. And as you make your way forward, let's see how I want to set this up. I'm sorry. So as you make your way forward, this is what you see. Hang on.
That's not horrifying at all.
Hold on. Sorry. The audience at home didn't get to see that yet, but there was a spoiler on the screen. So as you move forward now, you find yourself in a large snowy ravine. There it is. And we're still doing the same marching order. So Duros, that puts you in the back, right? I'd like you to make a perception check for me.
Me?
Yes.
Am I just tromping along, me and Snap?
So let's see here. So we've got Vibrant.
16.
A 16. Okay, great. Sit tight for a second. I just want to get everybody in their marching orders. And then we had Deimos kind of flanking here. Juniper behind.
Does Snapper get a perception check?
Must Snippy Snap?
Fletch and
Get a nifty little icon.
Duros. Okay, so you said a 16.
Yes.
Okay. Luckily, you had... Actually, maybe not. So, as you're moving through the snow... as you're moving through the snow... Let me get to the point here. I'm trying to change the music. I've got a lot to do here. So that's everybody's walking through the snow now. So as you're moving through the snow and the wind's starting to pick up and the snow's becoming a little bit heavier, as you move forward, Duros, you suddenly hear behind you, your ears fill with a deep bellowing howl as this clump of snow that you just recently passed on the edge of the rock formation suddenly bursts forth with this large ape-like creature with these curled horns and covered, snow still sitting on its shoulders and large fangs, and it roars at you. And what you see in front of you...
It's a wampa.
I thought you might appreciate this, actually. So what you actually see in front of you...
Is a wampa.
Marshmallow?
So he... Roar!
Dang it, Elsa!
And with that, because unfortunately he had a 17th to his stealth and you had a 16, and you were the trailing person in the party who was waiting to pass.
Wait, you told me to do perception, not stealth.
Sorry, you did perception, yeah. 16 to your perception, he has 17 to his stealth. It was contested.
I was going to say, I got +8. Oh, okay.
So as you missed it by 1. But because of
worries.
that, as soon as he bursts through, he lunges at you with a claw attack. And I need everybody to roll initiative while we're doing this. And then
How big is this creature?
He's about 12 feet tall. He's small.
Okay. That's small, 12 feet.
Okay, so the initial claw attack, as he strikes down with the claw, you're able to quickly just move away you're still kind of shocked. You move away, the claw swings by you, but then he catches you with his eyes. These bright blue, piercing eyes, almost like the kind of the White Walker of, Game of Thrones kind of thing. So these eyes just, psh, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
All of us or him?
Just him. We'll get to the rest of you guys with the initiative in a second.
This is not going to go well. Oh, actually, 18?
18, perfect. So as his eyes catch yours, you feel this like chill in your bones, but you're able to shake it off. You're like not sure what that was, but you're able to resist the powerful stare from this creature.
Hater's gonna hate.
And with that, I'd like to get initiative from each of you. So hold on one second. Let's start with Bog.
14.
14.
Mm-hmm.
1 second, let me just populate my charts. Ian?
19.
Vibrant?
22.
Nice. Fletch?
18.
Duros?
24.
Ow.
Nat 20.
Deimos?
Nice.
I know it doesn't matter. It's probably going to be the only one I'm getting.
What was that, Deimos?
8.
8. And Juniper, last but not least.
3.
3.
Being first.
Well, that's too bad. If you want me to write my...
Okay, so Duros, you're actually first. So this creature's emerged from the snow. He's taken a swipe at you. He tried to give you the cold, smoldering eyes. You're able to shake that off. What would you like to do?
Alright,
Let me switch the maps over so you can actually see the layout.
1d6.
And let's see. Should be. Sorry, give me 1 second. We're working on it. There you go.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark
Okay.
and give him my own chilling, smoldering eyes. And,
So this beast is actually behind us now.
Correct. So as you are all moving forward, Duros being the last in line, this beast was obviously waiting for an opportunity and had burst forth and attacked the rear of your party.
Alright, and I'm gonna shoot my longbow at his face.
Keep it. Oh, actually, you don't get disadvantage, right? Because you got sharpshooter. I was gonna say you're within 5
Yes,
feet.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's gonna catch me every time. I'm so used to it. Go ahead.
17.
17 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Six. So 8 damage.
8 damage. So you turn and again, just given your aptitude with the bow, you're able to quickly string your bow, fire an arrow right into its shoulder, and it roars back. But it's the arrow seems small in this large 12-foot frame as it just kind of grabs it and breaks it off.
Did I take any damage from the swipe?
Nope.
He missed? Okay.
He missed the swipe, and you resisted successfully the whatever else he was trying to do.
Alright.
Okay, so that's it for you.
Can I back away from him at all?
If you do, it will be attack of opportunity if you move away for him.
Alright. No, that's it.
Okay, Vibrant, we're up to you, sir.
So I probably hear this loud roar and behind us as this thing comes to attack, and I'm just going to turn around and throw a firebolt at the frosty beast.
Okay.
So it is. Where? Oh my lord! It's been a while in the zap here. Here we go. There she is. Fireball. All right. So 17 plus 6 is 23.
23 certainly hits.
All right. And max damage. So got a 10 on that. So 1d10. So it takes 10 fire damage.
10 fire damage. So you let go the firebolt. So Duros, you launch your arrow, and then you just feel this like heat just pass right by your ear as the creature's chest just ignites in flame, and the hair starts to curl, and he's starting to pat down like his chest, trying to fight off the remnants of the flame as his hair is scorched. And he looks taken aback. His eyes actually change to a bit of a look of fear because of the fire.
I'll use my movement to kind of shift over to about right here, about to the south a little bit, just to kind of keep a better eye on it, so I'm not firing stuff over everyone's heads.
Okay.
Doesn't like fire.
So Ian, you're up, sir.
I'm going to close the distance so I can engage him.
Okay.
And I am going to rely on my trusty Hunter's Mark and Divine Smite combination.
Okay.
Back.
What was that, good or bad? I don't know what that was.
Well, I mean, you didn't tell me to, but I rolled my attack and I rolled a 7.
You rolled a 7. Hold on, I have a sound for that. Yeah, so I'm sorry. That's a miss with the Divine Smite and your hammer. Actually, you still have the Divine Smite. You just didn't hit with the hammer. So your hammer's preloaded. So you move into range. You crush through the snow. You get up to the Yeti and you go to swing, and the Yeti kind of catches your hammer hilt with his like forearm and deflects the blow for no damage.
Bullshit.
Anything else you'd like to do?
Nope. I will stay. If I try to back away, he gets an attack of opportunity.
Correct.
All right. I will stay here and be a human shield for the rest of the group.
Yeah, but at least you actually have a shield.
Yeah.
This is true.
Fletch, we're up to you.
All right. He's not wearing any armor, is he?
All you can see is a lot of fur. Well, and a little bit more than that because it's his scorched bare chest now. So yeah.
Can I cast? Oops, I lost my thing. Entangle.
You certainly may try.
Okay. What do I have to do here? Do I have to roll anything? I can't. That.
No, it's a saving throw, I believe, for me, right?
Oh, for him. Yeah.
And actually, anybody within the area. So just double check.
Uh-oh.
It's a fun spell, but it's destructive.
Who are you?
Yeah, creature in the area when you cast a spell must succeed on a strength saving throw or be restrained by the entangling plant. So right now, within that 5 feet, it would be Duros, Ian, and the creature that would all need to make strength saving throws.
And they need to be stronger than 14.
Okay, so
So,
Ian and Duros, make your saving throws.
Well,
am I strong?
no.
You're so much bigger than me.
Woof. That's a solid 4 for this guy.
4 for you, okay. And Ian, what'd you get? 13?
Yeah, it's a +1 for me. I rolled a 3.
Oh wait, is there a modifier?
It's your saving throw. Strength saving throw.
Oh. Strength save. But do I get to use the plus? So if I get to use that, then it's 16.
Okay, 6. So you save.
Oh, wait, I got 6. Sorry. I was adding my modifier, not the saving throw.
Okay, so Ian, you succeeded. Duros, you failed on your saving throws.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I figured.
So Fletch, extends her feathered hand, and you see these just these spots of green start to emerge from the ice and snow and wrap around the creatures, but they also start to wrap around Duros, you and your legs, and Ian, you and yours. The creature just rips its legs out. These vines aren't strong enough to hold the creature, but Duros, you find yourself now restrained by this entanglement. Ian,
Not in a fun way either.
not in a fun way. Ian, as you see it, you're able also to kind of wrench yourself free before they can fully get hold. But Duros, you are restrained.
Sweet.
And Snapper, is it Snapper gonna go as well? Can he lunge in for a?
Yep, you can do that. We had it set up as a bonus action, so go ahead and do Snapper's attack.
Oops, I just had it and I just lost it. Do I just do the regular?
Yep, just a
roll?
regular attack roll. Yeah.
1, go. Snapper got an 18.
An 18 hits. Go ahead and roll damage for Snapper.
Yeah. All right, Snapper gets. Sorry, my thing just froze.
Why are you leaving?
Because I need his thingies. His bite. Okay. Is this Snapper? Okay. He gets 2d4 plus 2. Okay. 2d4 plus 2. If anything would decide to go. 2d6, 4, 1, 2. 2d4 plus 2. We got 3, 6, 8.
8 points of damage from Snapper. So, as you cast the entanglement and you watch its effects, Snapper charges off from you, kicking snow behind his feet as he gets speed, and lunges at the creature, his teeth sinking into its wrist, and it kind of shakes it a bit and then throws it back, and Snapper lands onto his feet in the snow, tail wagging a bit, and teeth bared.
I'm gonna say "good boy" while I'm tied up. Good boy.
You turned to me with bad flesh.
Good boy.
So, Fletch, that finishes your turn.
That's me.
Bog.
So, I'm trying to find an answer for this, but I can't. If can you cast 2 spells in one round if one is a bonus action or no?
No, one of them will have to be a cantrip, so you can't cast 2 spells in a single round.
All right, cantrip. Okay. But if one of the spells is a bonus action, you can still do your regular stuff too, right? Or no?
Correct. Yeah. So if the spell itself is the bonus action, you could cast a cantrip and then cast the spell as a bonus action, or you could do a regular action like an attack or whatever else you'd like to do, dash, whatever, and then cast that as a bonus action. What you couldn't do is cast a normal spell and then also have the bonus action spell.
Okay. How's this guy look? Does he still look pretty strong and just...
He looks pretty strong. He's got kind of the pink charred flesh on his chest, but he's still pretty upright, teeth bared. He's looking ready for battle.
All right, so I'm going to go... Wait a minute. I'm going to actually use the right thing. I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Because I can't get to him this round. What I want to do, that's more damage, but that's permanent. Hold on 1 second. I got here. So I got 4 of those, and only 2 of those. 3 of those. Okay. All right. Bog is going to give him a guiding bolt at 2nd level.
Okay.
So you'll see him do his wind up and point and fire. +5. Shit balls. Does a 15 hit him?
A 15 just hits, yes.
Whew, okay. So that's 5d6?
Yeah, because it's 46 base and... Well, wait. No, because you're only first level spell shot, so it's 46.
No, I cast it at second.
Oh, you cast it?
So it's-
Okay, okay.
Okay. So it's
Additional
Right.
d6, yeah.
Yep. Okay. Let me see here. She got this dice out. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's fit in the box. Not bad. 6, 10, 15. Okay, so 19 points of radiant damage, and everyone who attacks him gets advantage until he gets hit by someone.
Yep, next attack roll. Okay. I had to check for that again. Okay, so you see this bolt of divine energy just fling forward from Bog. It strikes the creature, and he's just awash in this radiant glow, and staggers back from the damage. That one hurt. That one hurt. He's breathing a bit heavier now from the force of the spell. Anything else for you, Bog?
No, that's all I can do.
Deimos, we're up to you.
I'm gonna run right in front of him,
Okay.
and I'm gonna leap into the air, and I'm gonna come down, kind of like with an axe handle smash with my bone spear.
Okay. Roll the attack.
And I rolled a 15.
15 will hit.
Damage. 11.
11 points of damage. Okay. So you rush forward in the snow. You leap up and just bone spear, wham, right into kind of the bare chest area, because this is this large pink target from where it was roasted off by Vibrant's firebolt. And the bone spear strikes pretty true, and you see, and blood starts to emerge from the wound. As you definitely heard some bones and ribs crack as well when you struck him.
So I smile at him, and then I leap into the air and throw a Superman punch as a bonus action.
Unarmed strike. Yep. Go ahead.
Woo, 25.
25 hits. Roll damage.
Boom. I'm gonna do. Did I do that? As I hit him. I'm gonna spend a key point and do Hand of Harm.
Okay.
Or is it an addition to that, right?
It's an addition to, yes.
Yeah.
It adds damage to it.
All right, so let's do this.
What was the bonus he got for whatever Bog did?
Oh, that's right. Actually, yeah. So you have advantage on the attack. That would have been on the first attack. If you wanted to... So you hit anyway. But if you want to, you can go ahead and re-roll. Roll a second d20, since you would have had advantage with that attack. If you get a natural 20, obviously we can do the double damage. We'll go back and retcon it a bit.
Okay.
That's a good call, Mark. Thanks.
So I rolled... Well, I originally rolled that a 10 for the damage for the unarmed strike. So I think that's crit. All right. Let me roll another 20.
Wait, what? Hold on. 10 for what? I'm lost.
So for that unarmed strike,
Yes.
I did 10 damage.
10 damage for the unarmed strike. Okay.
Correct. And so we're gonna roll a d20 for the advantage.
Yeah, we're gonna go back a second. The bone spear attack should have been the one that had advantage to the initial. So you hit anyway. This is just to
Okay.
see if by chance you roll a natural 20 and it's a critical, then we'll give you the benefit of that.
16.
Okay, so no harm, no foul. But the advantage is now spent because you've done the attack. So you've done bone spear, unarmed strike. Anything else you'd like to do?
Yeah, some necrotic damage. I'm gonna.
Oh, the hand of harm, right?
Yes. So I did 10 damage with the Superman punch,
Yep.
and then hand of harm. Ba, 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 ba.
Extra. So spend a key point. 1d4 plus 3.
4 points of necrotic damage.
Additional 4 points of necrotic. Okay. Yeah, so you come in with the spear, you leap up quickly, you Superman punch, but keep in mind it's a 12-foot tall creature, so you get up to about where his sternum is, right where the diaphragm would be, and as you punch him, you kind of hear the wind kind of come out of his lungs, and then the purple hue and glow of the necrotic energy, passing through that section. As he inhales, you kind of see it expand with his chest. He is looking extremely rough at this stage. See any of your actions?
I'm gonna back away from him.
If you back away, it's going to be.
No, I don't. I have mobile.
Oh shit! You took that. I forgot. Okay.
Uh-huh.
New feats. Yep.
Woohoo.
So you disengage.
Yeah.
And how far back do you want to move?
15 feet.
15 feet. Back the way you came.
I can move behind him.
Yeah. Do you
Can't
want? Can you move yourself on Owlbear? Do you have Owlbear up? Do you want to?
Where's the thing?
If you want to just move yourself where you're going to be.
Yeah.
So as you're doing your movement, it's now the Yeti's turn, and at this point, he's come to the realization he's bit off much more than he could chew. So he's wanting to battle, but he's thinking the better of it. So he's turning around actually towards the same direction as you, Deimos, and he's going to take a dash action to start to move away. But with that, Ian and Duros, given the range that you're in, you both get attacks of opportunity on this creature.
Yeah, I'm tied up.
Oh, you're restrained. That's right. So Ian, you get an attack of opportunity as he turns to flee. He's going to head back down towards the area that Deimos is in.
My Hunter's Mark still being active.
Yep.
Oh, I got it.
And your Divine Smite is still on your hammer, because remember, you didn't actually make contact with that.
Awesome. All right, so I got a 19 that time.
That hits.
And 5, 9, 7, that's 16. 23, 26, 30.
I don't get to say this very often. Ian, tell us how this creature dies.
I killed the Attain or whatever it was last time, so I'm good with the big hits. He's turning and going.
Yeah, he's turned his back to you and he's starting to flee as you attack him.
So I will do a running jump, bringing the hammer down overhead, smashing it down right on his skull, and caving it in as red blood dots the snowscaped landscape and drenches everything.
And that is the end of this creature as it falls to your mighty hammer. So.
And I would like to take off one of its horns as a trophy.
Okay. Are you trying to? Are you going to break? What are you going to? Are you going to cut it off? Or are you going to break it off with your hammer? What are you doing?
I'm assuming the way I caved in its skull, I can probably just walk over and pick it up.
Yeah. Okay. So you take a horn from the creature.
Don't think.
Let's see who's in the. So based on this, so Juniper, make a perception check.
An 11.
An 11. Okay, so as the creature falls and all this is happening, you hear some movement in the snow behind you, and
oh shit!
A second creature emerges from the snowbank. It's actually a little bit more here. but takes a look at what's happening and starts to flee in the north. He's running away from you into the northwestern direction. So he bursts out and starts to take off.
Oy, no.
So Juniper, is there anything you'd like to do? It's actually your turn in initiative order as well. So,
Does he pose any danger?
at this point, it looks like you're more dangerous to him than he is to you. He's trying to get away as quickly as possible. Apparently, this ambush didn't work out the way they thought it was going to.
Is there any way to tell if there are any more creatures aside from him?
Based on the perception check that you had, it doesn't. You do a quick scan around, but you can't see anything specifically. If you want to try to make another search, you can. But this creature's moving away pretty quickly while you're doing that.
That's up to you.
I think I'll just let it run away. They seem to be scared and not pose any trouble, so we'll just let him flee.
And based on his dash and his movement speed, and also he's not really bogged down by the snow, he gets to about this stage. So you're the only one who's really noticed this at this point, because everybody's been focused on the battle. If you want to call attention to it, you can, but he's taking off.
All right. I give a shout out to everybody else who's near the downed beast. Let them know that there's another one that's running away. Seemed pretty shaken up and scared. Didn't pose a threat.
Okay. And so if we go to the initiative orders, Duras, you would be the next one up if you want to. You hear Juniper yell this from behind.
Am I still tied up?
You're still restrained. Actually, your turn, you have to make a strength saving throw. Or she can end the spell, too.
I can end the spell, but I mean, it's not my turn, so I can't.
Right. So if you want to make your strength saving throw.
Woo. 22?
Oh, yeah, because your DC was a 14, was it? So.
Yep.
Yeah, so you're able to finally just wrench yourself free and kind of pull off the vines, and you're no longer restrained.
Yeah, I'm gonna point at Fletch in a aggravated way.
An aggregated way, so it's all coming together right now. Just one big point. Just.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go like this.
Aggravated.
And I'm just gonna. Fletch is just gonna like shrug her little feathered shoulders.
So if you all are letting the other one flee, we're going to say that he continues on into the snow as you take in the spoils of the corpse before you. So
I'm assuming we can see his footprints in the snow?
You can.
Okay.
You gave us an easier path to follow.
If we want to follow that thing.
Well, it looks like we have to go that way anyway, right? Or
Yeah,
no?
we're going in that direction.
Onward.
Can Fletch go pick over the body, see if there's anything she can use or anything shiny she can take?
Sure. Go ahead and roll an investigation check.
4.
4. Well, honestly, it was an incredibly low DC on this anyway, because it's a buck naked creature with some scorched fur, but you kind of run your hands over. You don't see anything that looks like pouches or belts or anything of that nature, just a lot of fur and claws and teeth. And
the big femur.
The places that might have pockets, you're just not going to put your hands there. So
No, all set.
Nature's pocket.
Stop.
Wow.
Prison.
Is it lunchtime yet? Can we eat this thing?
Only if we all want to stop to take a break so I can cook you something.
I'm just asking.
I don't think there's any need to cook this right now. I mean, you probably take a second, hawk off some limbs
freezer
or whatever,
burn on.
some meat off there, but I'd probably recommend we keep moving.
yeah,
This little abominable T-bone.
And at this point, it is about it's coming up on kind of the midday, the noon point between your start of your travel, the encounter with the bridge, just your walking that we've kind of montaged over, and the battles with this creature. So, do you want to continue on? Do you want to take a short rest? And if you do want to continue, is it the same marching order?
Is anyone down any hit points or anything that'll be restored with a short rest?
We can keep moving.
I'm off to keep moving. I feel fine. So,
Nobody took damage.
I don't think
Nobody
so.
took damage.
Sweet.
Wow.
I'm gonna have to start upping my challenge on these encounters. So, as you start to continue, and as we're gonna move on, and it's getting close to 3:00, why don't we take a quick, 5-minute bio beverage break, and we'll come back. Well, let's make it 8 minutes. So 3:05, we'll come back and pick up with heading further into the mountains. So we'll be back momentarily.
sounds good.
Okay, great. So you've defeated the creature. You're continuing on the snowy path into the mountain. The weather is starting to get a little bit worse. So the wind is picking up. The gusts are becoming heavier. The sky, where it was kind of gray before and you could see the snow, has darkened, and the snow is becoming much more dense as it falls. Visibility is becoming limited, and the temperature continues to drop. So as you move forward, are you maintaining the same marching order as before?
Yeah, I'll stay up front.
So, yeah.
I'll go second. What did we just kill? I'm guessing it was a Yeti.
Yeah. Do you want to make a nature
That's
check?
racist.
But yeah, are you assuming it's creaturedom?
Oh, I'm just for out of game keeping the running death toll. That's all.
Yeah. Mark down one Yeti. And you killed the bladder of the second one, but he ran away. So
1 Yeti, 1 pizza.
So as you continue on into the mountains, I need everyone to make their survival checks, please.
I mean, not terrible. But
18.
Okay, hang on. I'll call around so I can keep track in my head. Bog, we'll start with you.
15.
15. Ian, you?
16.
16. Vibrant.
10.
Fletch.
22.
Nice. Duros.
13.
Deimos.
18.
And Juniper.
0.
How do you get a 0? You got a negative?
I got a 0.
What was your natural roll? Wait.
It was the 1, and then I have a -1 on it.
So you actually rolled a natural 1, so that counts as
Yes.
as two failures.
You just gotta let him know if you do roll a natural 1, because that does count. Like he just said, that counts against us. So
Yeah. Okay. So as you continue to move forward, the path breaks away in a couple different ways. You find yourself coming into some dead ends, and then having to backtrack to go back the opposite way. So you end up kind of the one path you take to the left. You travel for about a half an hour, and then you find yourself just looking at a face of the mountain. There's just no way to move forward. There's no caves. There's nothing that you could see. And after some discussion, you decide to move back and backtrack. So you lose some time on the move forward here. A couple of hours, just in terms of being a little disoriented, choosing the wrong path here and there. But then you find yourself where you think is back onto the straight and narrow. And about 20 minutes into that journey, you start to see a large shape in the distance before you, off to the side of the path that you're following. What would you like to... The shape itself is about 75 feet in front of you.
What would I use to try to discern what it is? Which skill?
If you want, you could do a perception check. You could try to move closer stealthily to see if you can, get a closer look. There's a couple different options here. I'd entertain anything and everything.
yeah, I'd like to
Isaiah.
stealthily move closer and try to get better eyes on what we see. Kind of do like the hold.
Okay, and you're in point, so go ahead and give me a stealth check.
All right. At least I'm better at this.
Um,
Normally better at this.
before they do that, can I cast my spirit totem? So that way I can help with checks.
Yes, you may.
How hard is this snow coming down?
At this point now, it's kind of a little bit like a Connecticut snowstorm. Like you still have visibility. You can see obviously about 75 feet in front of you. You can see at least a shape, but it is becoming harder to move and to walk. You're starting to notice within like 20 or 30 minutes, like the snow starting to build on your shoulders, and you kind of have to wipe yourself down. And it's that wet, sticky snow. This isn't like the dry stuff, right? This is just adhering to everything and anything. But
So I asked so I can cast Mask of the Wild
Okay.
because the snow is obscuring me, so I can do that instead of like sleuthing around. Does that make sense?
It does. It does. So let's do this. Let's kind of resolve this in a little bit of different order. So since Vibrant was on point, and he stopped everyone, and he's moving forward. What was your stealth check, Vibrant?
It was a 15.
A 15. Okay, so you see the line stops, and you see Vibrant start to kind of slink forward as stealthily as he can towards something. You don't know what. You just know that you've gotten a hold sign at this point. So Deimos, do you still want to try to also do the Mask of the Wild and kind of move up to follow him? Do you want to wait to see what happens?
Yeah,
Fletch,
I'm going to do Mask of the Wild. Yeah.
Okay. So go ahead and do that. And Fletch, you're casting your Spirit Totem, correct?
Yep, Hawk Spirit.
Okay.
So I don't need to roll anything, do I? No.
No.
No, I just cast it. Yeah.
Okay, and so then you're going to move up forward as well, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So as you get closer, Vibrant, and Deimos is kind of creeping up. So Bog, you see Deimos kind of slink past you, moving forward with Vibrant. As you get closer, what you start to make out, actually make a perception check. You get to about 40 feet away.
All of us or just him?
You can make one too, because you're
17.
kind of coming up on him as well. 17 for Vibrant? Okay.
Yep.
13.
Okay. So as you come up, and Vibrant, you get a much better view than Deimos. Deimos, what you can see is kind of it's a large, almost humanoid-esque kind of shape, but it's off. It's like rounded in places and so forth. And Vibrant, as you peer at it a little bit closer, you can see that it definitely is humanoid, but it looks like something frozen. Like frozen. Yep. It's not moving. It's very stationary in front of you.
All right. I'm going to use prestidigitation, kind of like shoot some sparks up so everyone else can see it from back, and then just kind of like
wave
give the forward.
Okay.
Yeah, then I'll be the first to try to get, and while they're moving forward, I'm just going to keep walking towards it, just in case something happens. I can at least shout before anyone else gets too close.
Okay. And Deimos, you're going to move forward with him, I'm assuming you guys are kind of moving together at this point.
Yeah.
So you cast up, and the rest of you behind, as they've moved up, 30, 40 feet ahead of you, you see these sparks kind of raising. You see, Vibrant's hand beckoning you forward. And so Vibrant and Deimos, as you move closer to this, and you notice, Vibrant, the creature doesn't move. Whatever this is,
Yep.
It doesn't move.
Seen this before.
And as you get closer and closer, you'd almost think it was a statue. But then you come to the realization that what is there is a ogre that has been frozen solid, and is encased in a very thick sheet of ice. The snow continues.
Could you try again?
Sorry, Siri apparently responds to that. So the snow continues to fall, and you notice as the snow's falling on it, there's a bit of a buildup on the top of it, probably at least a couple of inches. So it's at least been here for a few hours, but you have seen something like this before.
Yep. It's like when we met Bog. This looks very familiar. I started looking around for extra lizard folk. They're showing up on us this time again.
Make a perception check.
Yeah.
With advantage, because you know what lizards look like. So.
Yeah. I'm gonna. I'll do what I did on the last one. I'll look at the body, and as everyone else is kind of walking up, I'll just use prestidigitation to kind of melt away the waste, just to see if there's any like pouches they might have had on their waist that got lost when they got frozen.
Yep. Make an investigation check for me as you're looking through, because as you're thinning the ice, it starts to become clearer. It's a little bit cloudy at the beginning. It starts to become clearer, and you can start to navigate a bit to see if there's a point you want to focus on.
Kind of do like a little feel up on the waist area.
Yeah.
Following the way. I got a 19.
A 19. So as you're starting to melt it, you do see that within the ice with the ogre is what appears to be by its feet a very hefty-looking sack. But it's also much like the ogre encased in the ice. It's going to take you a little bit of time to melt enough to be able to get to it.
I'm intrigued, so yeah, I'll focus on trying to get that out just to see if there's anything useful in it.
Okay.
While everyone else is catching up.
So you continue to work on the ice. The rest of you are moving forward. What would everybody like to do?
I think we
I'll
have
keep moving forward.
Okay.
Duros is having snapper.
Yeah. So the rest of the party starts to come upon this same scene. So as you all approach, especially now that Vibrant has been kind of, as you get closer, you can see him kind of moving his hands all over this object, almost like he's doing like an ice sculpture, right? It's almost a delicate dance as he's doing this.
Back.
And you see a little bit of steam kind of arising, and you start to see the ice starting to melt. The curvatures.
Make sure you throw some silver coins at it.
What was that?
For all that rubbing you're doing, better throw some silver coins at it.
Only the best.
Only the best.
I melt some gold ones right into it, just like,
So after it takes about a good 10 minutes, just because of the thickness of the ice between whatever happened in the snow. But you're finally able to get the sack free enough that you could attempt to pull it out from the rest of its lodging in the ice.
Cool. Now I have a hefty sack from an ogre. Wording that as not to give anyone ammo as I could, but hence it is what it is.
Do you want to look in the
Guys,
sack?
I pulled out this ogre sack. I open it up and I look inside, see what I get, see what's in there.
So when I say hefty, I mean this is a rather large sack. So it's like a 3 foot by 2 foot thick burlap. So as you dump it out, you see like a rusty dwarven helm tumbles out, clink clink clink, and splintered wooden shield parts fall out. There's a crumpled miner's cap. You think it's almost like a cowboy's hat, but it's been kind of just smashed and dislodged, as well as a sackcloth doll, which you're kind of thinking to yourself, I don't know what this... I don't even want to know where that probably came from. But within that, you also see what appears to be 3 clay jars that tumble out with it, with wax seals at the top.
All right. Yeah, I'll pick those up, and I guess I can. What would you? I have Arcana, or I can roll Investigation, I guess.
For these, let's do an Arcana check.
All right.
First, and then we'll.
15.
15. So as you look at them and you look at the seal and you kind of like scratch away a little bit of the seal, there's definitely liquid inside.
Yep.
As you open up, what it appears to be, at face value, based on the red liquid inside, is a potion of healing.
All right, so
Would a medicine check do anything for that?
Not in this case because they're more magical than they are, about the body and whatnot. But there are three of these. There are 3 of these.
Okay. So I'll kind of like shake them and I'll do like my little test on them and I'll say we got the 3 potions of healing, and I'll give Bog, I'll give 1 to Eon, and I'll give 1 to trying to think. I'll hold on to 1 myself just in case I get hammered on. But I figure the 2 guys that can heal everyone else, that way they can hold on to that for healing everyone else, and they can use this to heal themselves.
Okay. So
Thank you.
Just kind of do all this. 1 to you, and I pocket 1.
Okay. So each of you add a potion of healing to your inventory. You have that at your disposal. But that's all you find in the sack.
All right. And I'll just let everyone know, obviously, what I've found. A nice frozen orc, similar to when we last saw our dragon, particularly, and when we met Bog. It's the same exact look. You guys can look at it and you see it's frozen solid, except for where I've melted away to get, to find this item off of it. So,
and who
looks like we're still going the right way.
And who has the who has survival? Actually, proficient in survival.
Leave. I am.
You're proficient in survival.
Yeah.
God, someone is.
So
I got
What was that, Ian? I'm sorry.
Medicine and insight.
Okay, yeah. So based on your survival skills, Bog, and what you've seen of the cold and whatever, as this was happening, you're kind of looking at the frozen ice sculpture of this ogre as Vibrant starts to melt away these things. You would say that it's probably been within the last 24 hours or so, that based on the snowy buildup and just everything else, how long this has been here.
You guys, this thing's been frozen maybe a day or so, and that's it. So, whatever did this is probably close by. Yeah.
Are we assuming that something did this, or that the natural cold would have done it?
I'm gonna say that I believe it's the same. It's the same exact thing that we've seen when we saw the other ones. So it's outside means have done this. The eyes are probably open, and it's probably like frozen.
Yeah, if you look at it, to your point, it doesn't look like it fell asleep and just became frozen. It does have a look of fear frozen on its face, no pun intended. Eyes are wide, mouth aghast, and its motions, the way its hands are, positioned, they're not relaxed. They're defensive.
Fair enough.
Can I make a perception check to see if there are any tracks in the snow?
Yeah, please do.
$20.
20. Not that you can see. So what the tracks that you see at this point are the ones that appear to be made by your group. They've obviously now started to circle around this form, but you don't see any moving away from the corpse or in a direction further from than you've been. So.
Okay. Decisions.
I'm just gonna say, well, the dragon was all right. So with survival, would they have a better shot at finding tracks than just the standard perception roll?
Yeah, honestly, in this case, but because of the snow actually makes it a bit easier, right? So if it was like the forest,
True.
survival for sure. But here, that's very apparent. Like the snow has not been indented, so I think perception would be enough for this one. Yeah.
All right. Can we see anything in the mountains that looks like where we are to where there might be like a cavern of some sort that maybe this thing is hunkering out in?
Are there any felled trees or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for these, make a quick perception check. Get to level the detail here.
Would my knowledge of dragons be able to assist me and to find out what I'm looking for of what a white dragon might want to hoard out?
Let's see what you're rolling. I'll tell you.
Got 12.
Go ahead and roll with advantage and just see what you get.
All right, that one's a little better. 14.
14.
Or sorry, 16.
So as you look up, and everybody's kind of looking a little bit. So Deimos, you too, as you're scanning this guy. Part of the challenge now is because the storm is becoming worse. Your visibility up is becoming much more limited. So you can see from here that there is open sky, or at least what you can make out from the gray and white of the snow above you. So if there was something vibrant, like a flying dragon, it would be able to enter into the space easily and then swoop back out. You do not see anything that would indicate, say, a cave opening or any darkened spots on the mountainsides where a obvious lair might be.
Do we is there like a so when he would have came in, like we'll say he probably would have dive bombed with the frost attack to freeze this thing. Do we notice that the icicles are like on the back side of it? So saying that he would have came from the opposite side of the icicles. Like when you see in the comics when they get frozen, they're always like this, and the icicles pop out behind them.
Yeah, so I'll say based on all the previous checks and you fondling the body for a good 10 minutes, you can tell that directionally.
10 minutes.
Yeah, well, that's how long it took to melt. It takes a
while
to really warm him
Very
up.
thorough.
But
I did take his sack after all.
But you can tell that there was a downward angle originating from what was probably a bit behind you, so to the south and to the west. as
Okay.
it came in. But there is a definite angle to and striation to the ice in the way that it formed. It also mirrors the direction that the ogre's face is looking in his
Yep.
defensive posture.
We say we go that way. Unless anyone has any other options or thinks anything differently, I'm gonna go. We go that way. I believe is our best shot.
That's it. Yeah. I'm gonna brush the snow off my shoulders, and start to walk past the frozen popsicle yeti.
So you guys are you're continuing on then. I need you to make your next survival check, please, as a group.
So as Duros walks by the ogre, the frozen ogre, he's gonna spit at it.
That's well in character for you.
Were those elixirs of health or potions of healing?
Potions of healing.
Because the only thing I can find on D&D Beyond is elixir of health. Potions of healing are only like a few different versions.
Not the common one. I found that too. It's only greater, superior, and
Really?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Worst
great-
case. Worst case, I'll add it as a homebrew and throw it in there. So
Okay.
just mark it off to the side. Know that you have it, and I'll make sure that the three of you get them in your inventories. So. Potions of- Okay. So Bog, how'd you do on that survival check?
16.
16. Ian.
Oh, hold on. I just got a package delivered. 7.
It
That's
wasn't.
what I get for walking.
It wasn't a large ogre sack, was it? I don't. Sorry.
No.
Vibrant.
What it is, actually.
15.
Oh.
Fletch.
18.
Nice. Duros.
20.
Get you guys. Deimos.
7.
Juniper.
18.
18. Oh, great. Okay, so so you guys are fairly confident now between what you've just seen here, Vibrant's directional guidance based on the investigation and so forth. You're feeling much more purposeful in your path, whereas before you were kind of meandering through the mountains. Now you're like, we have something we're working towards. Whether or not it's a good idea to work towards it, we don't care, but we're going this way anyway. So you continue to move through the mountains. The first hour of which is fairly uneventful. There's a couple opportunities where you have to kind of help each other up, a slight ledge. The snow continues to fall heavily. As you start to look back behind you, you can see that for the distance that you can see, your tracks are filling in pretty quickly from the snow as you're continuing to move forward. The snow is definitely getting heavier. Not quite yet a blizzard, but you start to as you navigate through, you come into what is almost a kind of a cliff area. So as you come up off to your right, there's a drop off that goes down into the mountain. So you're no longer kind of surrounded on both sides. To your left, there's a very steep elevation of the mountain side, almost 90 degrees at some point, with a lot of snow and ice build up here on the mountains. And the path continues to wind around, and you can see that there's, again, another opening, much like you've been passing, with rocks on both sides. What I'd like to do is, so Bog, you have a natural survival check. Who has nature as a proficiency? Anybody have nature as a proficiency? I'm looking at my druid and my ranger.
You have
That
nature.
tells me that was a negative on those two.
Yeah.
No natures. So nobody has nature, but we have one survival.
I'm proficient in survival.
Oh,
Sorry,
you
I
are?
missed
Oh,
that.
okay.
I missed that.
So the two that are proficient in survival, please make a survival check for me.
16.
Okay. Bog?
Number 16.
2 16s. Okay. So as you start to enter this area, Bog, you and Duros kind of pause for a minute. And between the wind and the snow, and you're looking at this feels... You become overcome with a little bit of trepidation. this feels like the ice and the snow that you see up there, probably it wouldn't take much for it to come down on you if you were not careful about moving forward. So avalanche conditions fairly high. So knowing this information, what do you say to the group? What would you like to do? Because right now everybody's just kind of moving slowly forward.
Alert everyone would be the top priority.
Very
Out
quiet.
at the top of your
Very
list.
quietly. Hey!
Just like that.
Hey, you guys!
So as Bog says that, all of the snow starts. No, I'm kidding. So what
Anyway.
what would you like to do then? So knowing that this is what it is, you tell me what you want to do, and then we'll decide how we want to place that.
So I'm in the back, right?
You are Bog's number 2 in line. You're bringing up the rear.
I guess we'll do it. We'll do it elementary school style. I'll tell the person in front of me and tell them to pass it on.
Well, that always gets messed up towards the end, though.
Yeah.
Well, Bog's in the front, so.
Yeah, Bog's in the front, so if we meet halfway, it should still be the same thing.
You got a crab in your pants? What happened?
There's snow cones up there? Cool.
I guess we're just gonna just walk very quietly. And
Softly.
I'll probably slow down a little bit just to make sure we don't make any noise if possible.
Okay.
Doing one of these, like peeking as we're walking.
So
Does anyone have clingy, clangy armor, rather?
He does, but
That could be a factor.
No.
as long as he doesn't hit his armor.
Fair enough.
Yeah, just walking, it shouldn't be causing an issue.
Well, it's gonna make a little clink noise.
It's not like I'm banging my hammer on my shield as we're walking along,
Just picture this going down. It's like, yeah, let's go, guys, come on.
Yeah, just walking shouldn't be a problem.
All right,
They
let's
don't
go.
have armor, yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Mosey.
sorry about that.
Hey.
Urgent text messaging. So I need each of you. We're going to do this as a group as you're moving slowly through. I need each of you to make a stealth check for me.
What's my disadvantage with scale mail?
It's a -1, I believe, on stealth.
-1?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh. Yeah.
So let's do these in order so I can keep track. Bog?
Well, that's why. Oh, disadvantage.
Stealth. That's good. 22.
22. Ian?
So rolling with disadvantage means I roll twice and take the lower?
Yes.
Correct.
That sucks because my first roll was a 19 and my second roll was a 5.
At least
That's
it
the
wasn't
same
a 1. I was worried there for a second. Sorry.
That's the same
Yeah.
with Mark for his scale mail. It's disadvantage. He rolls 2, take the lower.
Oh,
I gotta roll twice.
Yeah, I got a D in a circle or an octagon here.
this is where Mikey helps keep me honest because sometimes I forget. So, Vibrant.
I got a 14.
Great.
14. Fletch.
Got an 11.
This is not looking good, guys.
Oh, 15,
Dur-
15, sorry.
You got
I
15?
miscounted.
Okay.
15, miscounted. Sorry.
This is turning into that soccer team that crashed into the mountainside in Venezuela very quickly.
Well, all I have to say is Mikey's 14 to a 15 was important. So I'll leave it at that. Duros, what'd you get?
Now with my disadvantage roll, we're looking at a solid 10.
Wait, are we all rolling with the disadvantage?
No.
No.
Because of their armor, stealth is at a disadvantage. So what was your stealth roll?
Solid 10.
No, I meant Deimos, sorry. What was your stealth?
Oh, 16.
Okay, so just to set the stage here, this is all going to come down to Juniper's roll. So
I don't like the delight on your face right now.
It's already too late. He's smiling. We're boned.
So Juniper, what was your stealth roll?
Got a natural 20 plus 6 is 26.
Pack the dice up here, just there we go. All right.
Boom. Okay. Yes. So there's moments as you're moving through as a group, like just a loud clang of a shield off a rock, or just a hey, did you a little bit too loud than you wanted at this point. And there's some moments where you start to see some snow start to fall and ice kind of break off and crash on the rocks below, but you're able to move through this area with a lot of trepidation and a lot of tension, but you're able to get through without causing anything major to happen. And so you find yourselves now back within the concealment of the paths with the rocks kind of on both sides at different levels, but through this avalanche area, you feel much more comfortable now that you've passed. But that was close. That was very, very close.
Like Calamity, we just avoided Calamity.
You did.
Happens.
So now that you're through this section, I need you guys to make a new survival check, as we're getting closer and closer to our destinations.
Nat 20, 23.
Bog, what'd you get?
15.
Ian?
1.
1? Okay. Vibrant?
17.
And Ian, that was a natural one, I assume?
Yes.
Fletch?
I got a dirty 20.
Okay. Juros?
I got a nat 20, which would make it 23.
Damos got a 23. And Juniper?
17.
17. So for the next hour, you're moving on and upwards. The air continues to get thin. The snow is continuing to come down heavy. I mean, at this point, you're getting a bit concerned as you move into the afternoon. You're not sure how much longer you can continue. This is almost getting to the blizzard-esque in the conditions, but you're pressing forward. In the second hour, I need you to... Actually, let me look at passive perception. Damn it, Bog, you kill me with this. So, Bog, with your 20 passive perception, as the party's starting to move and Vibrant's in front of you and the rest are behind, as you start to move, you feel a vibration underneath your feet. And at first you're like, not quite sure I felt that. And then you feel it again, and then it stops. And then you feel it again, and then it stops. But your instincts are starting to kick in a bit here. Something's not right.
Just is Vibrant in front of me as usual?
Yep.
All right, Bog reaches up and grabs Taylor. Hey, tell the big guy we got problems.
I have a passive wisdom of 15, so. Or passive perception of 15, so.
And I just start motioning to him like this, like.
Back up.
And Damos, with that passive perception, you also occasionally feel like the ground shifts just a bit beneath your feet as well. Not to the extent that Bog is feeling it, but you're definitely noticing also something like you're going on a heightened alert.
There's vibrations, guys, but they're not constant.
Vibrations.
So Bog is gonna think and say, either this ground is slowly giving way, or something's walking. And I'd like to try to make, I guess, a rolled perception check to see if the time in between the vibrations is something I would notice as like footsteps. Like,
yeah, go for
Can I
it.
give him advantage by assisting him in this? Just like I put a hand on him, like kind of listening to, just like cheek, like going like this as he's doing it.
Yeah, let's go with it.
thank God for advantage. That's a dirty 20. Otherwise, it would have been an 8.
So you don't like it's not rhythmic or anything of that nature, but it's like there's like vibration, few seconds stops, vibration a few seconds. But what you're noticing is it feels like the vibration, the orientation of it is kind of moving, like it was kind of behind you, now it's off to the side of you, now it's a bit in front of you. Like it's moving around. It's not stationary. It's not rhythmic. It's not stationary. But
good vibration.
Right. Basically, what you can tell is this feels organic. Whatever's happening here there's something about it that's biological.
Probably above the cave.
Bog conveys information. He's like, "Yeah, guys, this is something that's like walking around us."
So
like we gotta find like a better place to fight, or like try to hide real quick. Yeah.
Do we know if it's coming from beneath? Oh, whoa. Owlbear shifting apparently.
Is that water, like frozen water?
Yes, there's some ice here that has been formed. Some of it, it looks like it might have been part of a stream or whatever, but the main thing here, and I'm trying to do this on the wrong screen as I'm trying to blow it up here. So here's your walking order. Based on the path you gave me, we have Bog in the front. The direction that you're heading, by the way, you came from the southwest, and you're kind of moving up following this trail, this ledge, up and around. So it would curve up in the S. But we have Bog there. We have, let me find my sorcerer icon. We have Vibrant with him. And then we have Deimos. Kind of right in here.
Can you see my little pointer thing on Owlbear, Ray?
Do the laser pointer.
Circling around. What is that laser pointer?
15 feet to your directly in front of him. To the north, I think is what he's referring to.
I don't see it, but go ahead. The laser pointer is the little teardrop one, too. I got it. Bottom. Yep.
So, we're here, right? So, I see how that works. Hold on a second. I gotta put this thing here, and then click pointer. Why won't you work? I want to move you. There.
Yep,
there we go.
I see it now. Yep.
So I made a red dot up there somehow. So this thing over here, is that like, are what we standing on? Are we like on the same level, or are we like on the ground and that's above us?
So
the dark. No.
Yeah. So where you are with the circle. So you see my laser pointer now. So this is the same level. And then up here, this is like one ledge up. It's not very significant. It's probably about 18 inches high. And then another 18 inches up to here, to this next level. But the path that you're taking kind of winds this way and then continues on through that upper part of the map to the far north.
Just easily go up those like stairs.
Correct. Yeah.
So there's no need for out and around and back and around. We can just boop, 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 just straight up them.
Right. So they're basically just escarpments, moving up. Okay. So
I'm going to scale all of them into kind of scout and see what's up there.
Okay. So as you start to move, I need everybody to make an initiative roll for me, please.
Shit.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Jesus.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, hang on. Gotta switch over to my Countess. And I'll call out as soon as I'm ready. So, Bog, what'd you get?
12.
Ian?
1.
Oh, there's worse ways to roll a 1. Vibrant?
20. I got nat 20 on the die, so it's 23.
23, okay.
Useful.
Fletch?
I got 7.
Deimos? Actually, Duros, sorry. The other D. Duros?
Well,
Deimos, what'd you get again?
15.
And Juniper.
17.
17. Okay. So as you... Let me... Scroll my screens. So as you start to move towards to scale, Deimos, what bursts forth from the snow is this large, almost armadillo-esque kind of creature. It's got a pointed snout that rears back and this huge set of armor on its head. Do I have a picture of it? I actually do. We're not going to switch. I'll just describe it. So scales going back in a large, almost shark-like mouth that bursts through the snow. And it bursts forth.
Snow tremor!
It bursts forth where Bog kind of last felt the tremor, which is about right here. So you've started to scale up to the top. So before you even get to where you are now, as soon as you start to move over there, this thing bursts out from the snow, heading towards Bog's direction. And with that, we're going to enter into initiative order. And so, Vibrant, you're actually first. Because you detected this, it didn't surprise you guys on the initial. You were
ready.
Does that make me behind it at this point?
So I would say, based on where you were, and you wouldn't have been able to scale that high, I would put you probably like right about here, like to this first ledge as it was coming up. You were almost taking like simultaneous actions. You were moving over there as this thing came out. So you're actually to the flank of it. Technically, you're just not in melee range at the moment.
Okay.
Looks like King Shark. King Shark is a shark.
So, Vibe, what do you want to do?
I'm going to get onto the actual Owlbear page instead of trying to click your picture. There we go. I'm going to scoot around this way and throw a firebolt at it.
Go for it.
14?
14 does not hit. So you throw your firebolt, and as you do, as the creature came up out of the snow, it quickly ducks down. You throw your bolt, and it kind of jumps to the side. It's a lot faster than you thought it was going to be, and the firebolt melts the snow behind you as it slides through the ice and snow.
Taylor kind of gives me one, like looks at me and just shakes his head. I'm like, I know I missed. I'm sorry.
Anything else you'd like to do?
No, that's pretty much it for me right now.
Okay, Juniper, you're up next. Sorry, Vibe.
I would like to use my short bow.
You got to move the mic just a little bit closer. The baby's cuteness is sucking all the sound away from you. So it's.
I would like to use my short bow.
Okay.
I'll just. Whoops. Oh, that was a 6. That does not hit.
No. So well, you fire the short bow.
Wait, I rolled the wrong thing.
Okay, reroll.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's hard to do one-handed.
It still doesn't hit.
At 11, but that's a little bit better. So yeah, so you quickly draw your short bow and let fly, and it just chinks off the armor of this creature, this large armored head that it has, and doesn't seem to do any damage.
All right. Can I use a spell?
Do you have anything as a bonus action? Because the action was your short bow. So if you have any bonus action cantrips or spells, you could do that.
Bonus action spells, Misty Step.
You could do that if you wanted to. I will say the benefit here is, if you want to get behind it or something, you could do that. But you might want to maybe hold tight until the next round, just as we work through.
All right, I'm just reading through what I have.
Okay. So take a look at those, and then we'll come back to you on the next round, and we'll see if there's something else you want to do. Okay, so Deimos, why don't we jump to you then?
Can I roll a perception check to see if there's any gaps in the armor?
Not at this stage. There's actually some specific abilities that would allow you to look for those kind of things. So,
okay.
I mean, if you wanted to do something like take an action to sit and maybe study its movements and what's happening, to see if you can maybe do it, I might allow that one. But
never mind. I'm gonna run towards this thing, seeing as I'm technically above it, right?
You are, yeah.
So I'm gonna jump off and I'm gonna yell "drop kick" and try to drop kick this thing.
Okay. And this is a fairly large creature, so even though you're above it as you leap off, you're finding your leap is going to put you almost on top of it as you land with the kick, which is fine. I'm just giving you kind of size perspective.
Gotcha. Let's see. Well, 21.
21 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Bang. Yep. 6 points of damage.
6 points. So you leap off the escarpment, you land the kick, and the kick hits solid, but you also, you feel a little bit of a shudder in your leg just because the creature is very solid in and of itself. So as you hit it, it doesn't seem to show that it was hurt very much, but you see its head kind of raised to almost throw you off from where you made your impact. But you did some damage to it.
I'm gonna wheel, so I guess technically I'm down here now.
Yeah, so
in front of it, I guess?
Yeah, so I would say you're in melee range in front of it. So you came off the escarpment, you're about 18 inches elevation from there. Now you're in front of it on the same level.
All right. So now I'm going to. How big is this thing again? 12 feet?
So this it's a large creature. So I would say from shoulder to ground, it's about 4 feet high at the shoulders. The head of it puts it a little bit higher, probably about 5 feet or so. But it's that's what you're seeing. Keep in mind it's quadrupedal, right? It's four legs.
All right, so I'm gonna jump into a spinning back kick and try to knock it backwards.
Okay.
As my bonus action. 17.
A 17 just hits.
Ow.
This was that you were doing an unarmed strike with this one? Is that what your bonus
Yeah.
action is? Okay.
Is that an addition to it? Figure out. Yes. Okay. So for damage on that, gonna be another 6 points of damage.
So you did the unarmed strike as your bonus action, right?
Yeah, and I'm gonna spend a key point to do some necrotic damage as well.
Okay, so another 6 for the unarmed strike, and then what do you got for the necrotic?
4.
And another 4 for that. So you do your spinning kick, you catch it again in the side of its armored head, but where your heel strikes it with the kick, you see the purplish energy and the veins kind of go out from the necrotic damage, and the creature makes a little bit of a noise and a sound as this kind of welt starts to form of the necrotic energy, but it's still looking extremely strong and hardy.
Okay. I'm gonna cock my head sideways and just go, whoop, and I'm gonna scoot back about 15 feet.
Okay, with your mobility. Got it. Okay. Bog, you're up, sir.
Okay, so
he's right
Bog
in front
is
of
going-
you. Yeah, because he came.
Yep.
Yep.
So Bog is going to clasp his hands together, run forward, and just hit him with the old double axe handle,
Okay.
which is how he will cast, or he casts inflict wounds. It's cocked. 13. 14. That's an 18.
18 hits.
All right. Crap, that was out of the box. Out of the box again. Come on, damn you. Okay. 11. So 18 points of necrotic damage.
18 points. Nice. So you come as soon as this creature leaps out. Deimos has come off to the side and attacked it. You saw the firebolt kind of fly by. He's coming right at you, and you just swing down with both of your fists together in the axe handle, and you see that same purplish energy just radiate from the point of the blow of the impact. And the creature reels back just a bit. He doesn't change his, but you see his head kind of duck down with a pained for lack of a better term, pained expression on his face, even though there's not much of an expression there.
Okay, and hold on a second. Let me get the right page. And now I'm going to basically take the attack of opportunity, and I want to go from here. Whoops, I'm still laser pointing. How do I stop that? Like just click on my guy, maybe?
Yeah, or click on the hand, and then you can click on your guy.
There we go. Oh, wait. Click on the hand.
Yeah,
Where the hell did the hand go?
It should be on the right-hand side.
It's in the smaller menu, icon menu.
I see nothing on the right-hand side, though. Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on a second. Was that? Nope.
Laser pointer.
I got it. I found it. Okay. I want to go up here by Deimos. Yeah.
Okay, are you staying in melee range, or are you disengaging?
I'm disengaging for. Wait, I can climb up and get in melee, still stay in melee range?
So if you want to move, if you want to kind of, so the way I typically play the attack of opportunity is if you're moving around and staying within the 5 feet, I don't necessarily do an attack of opportunity. But if you move outside of that, you move beyond the 5-foot radius of the creature, or whatever the enemy is, then I'm going to say that an attack of opportunity applies. Unless you have ability that negates that.
I think it would, because that would be 5 feet, that would be 5 feet. But to get up on this thing, it would be 10 feet, right?
It's only about 18 inches, so it's a step up, right? So that first escarpment is only 18 inches up. So it's a tall step. So I would say in this case, I would allow it. You're not going to have to climb or anything. You literally just move around and take a tall step up with your movement.
It's only 18 inches?
Yeah, the first escarpment.
All right, that's what I'll do then. And no attack of opportunity.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to do the flying elbow, you're going to have to go up a few more levels, I think, before you can get real high on it.
That's where I was going with it. I was like,
oh God, I hope we're getting an elbow. I hope we're getting
so much time. How far do I have to make it for the How far do I have to make it for the elbow?
Great minds think alike, guys. Great minds. Okay, Duros, I think, speaking of great minds, let's go to you.
Well, no.
Oh, wait. Oh, you're not done yet. I'm sorry, Bog. Go ahead.
Well, if I have to go further up to make it to the elbow, I will take the attack of opportunity and use the rest of the movement to get up as high as I can.
Okay. So you attacked with the axe handle for your action with the necrotic damage. You're now moving within your movement. There is going to be an attack of opportunity. He's going to try to... Where is he? Where'd he go? Let me get him back up again. Yeah, so he's going to try to slash you with his claw as you move away from him.
Before he swings,
yes.
Since I didn't use my bonus action, can I use my can I shove him?
Yeah, if you want to.
I'll like to just like I see Bog go make the scramble up. I just kind of like just go like this and try to shove the beast.
Okay.
So he has to make a DC. It's a strength saving throw. It has to beat a 14.
That is, it's 18 on a die. I'm just giving you the full though. That's 22.
Yep.
Yeah. So he saves against the shove, and the attack on you as you kind of see him like have to suddenly tense up a bit from the resisting the force push, as it were, from Vibrant. But the strike comes out. It's a 15 to hit.
Misses.
So yeah. So the push is just enough to give you enough time to move out, and the attack swings right past you. So you feel the air of the claws kind of pass as you move up, but no damage.
All right, so that was 5. So that would be 10, 15, 20, 25-ish. Yeah, I think I'm as high as I can get there. No, going back doesn't help, so I'm right there now.
Okay. So now we're to Duros. And Duros, keep in mind, you're in the back of the party here still, so you're 10, 20, 30, about 30 feet away.
Is that not in range for my bow?
Oh, that's well in range for your bow. I'm just letting you know where you are.
All right. I have a question.
I may or may not have an answer. If I don't, Mike or Shelling will have it, so we'll figure it out.
So that magic amulet that I'm packing,
Yep.
does that count as an action?
To activate it, no, because what it essentially does is when you activate it, it takes the place of your attack roll, right? So it
Yeah.
gives you so that would just be factored into your attack action.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna cast Hunter's Mark on the thing. Do we know what this is? Does anyone know what this thing is?
An ice trimmer.
An ice tremor?
Who has nature proficiency?
Gone through this. I don't think anyone
I don't think any of us. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no, you just it looks like a giant snowy armadillo. You're not sure what this is exactly. It just came bursting out of the ground. So it did not. The only thing it didn't do was yell Candygram when it came out. So some of you might get that reference.
Yeah, I got that.
So Hunter's Mark, and then I'm gonna whisper into my amulet or whatever the hell I'm supposed to do to it.
Okay.
And then that's gonna give me a 10, right?
Yeah, that's an automatic 10, and then you have what, +7 to hit? Is that what it is?
Plus
you got your
8.
Plus your Hunter's Mark. Okay, that definitely will hit.
So that's gonna hit. All right. So we'll roll 1d8. That's 8. That's 8 for the regular attack. I'm gonna re-roll that with my piercing feat.
Okay.
And I got the same number. Okay. So that's gonna be 8. And then I'm gonna roll another d8 for Colossal Slayer, because it's already lower than its regular HP.
Yep.
It's 5.
Okay.
And then I think it's just 1d6 for Hunter.
Yes, 1d6.
And that's 4. So 17.
Nice. Not bad at all. So you pull out your bow, and right before you kind of take out the bow, you touch the amulet, you give it a little bit of a twist, and the clockwork mechanism kind of clicks, and then you feel like, okay, this shot's going to be good. And you pull and you strike. The arrow finds its way, and it catches right between, there's a crease between the bottom jaw and the top of the armor plate on the front, so when it opens its maw, it can flex its jaw, and you catch it right in the loose flesh there. And you see the creature rear back, its tongue kind of flailing as this arrow now is stuck in the side of his mouth.
Right. That will be it for me. I'm going to kiss that amulet.
Okay, so now it's the creature's turn. And given the locations, let's see here. Wow, everybody's moved all over the place. So he's going to charge Deimos towards you. Because he can still reach you even though you're up on the escarpment. And he's going to attempt to attack you. So, first attack. That's a 19 to hit. Deimos, you're on mute. I can't hear you.
Yeah, my armor class is 16.
Okay, so that's a 19 to hit, and then that will do 1d6 plus 3 slashing. And that's a 6 on the die, so that's 9 points of slashing damage. So as it comes towards you, charging, it swings with its claws, and these claws, as you see them now, from all these, all this tunneling that this creature has done, are just razor sharp and hardened, and they just slash across your chest, doing a total of 9 points of slashing. And then now it rears back too with its mouth, and it attempts to bite you. So you see the head cock, and it comes in for a bite. And that's 15 to hit. What was your armor class again?
16.
16. So yeah, so as the bite comes in, you're able to kind of, just kind of deflect the blow and kind of push him away so his mouth doesn't make contact with you. And he's not successful on that. And that's his 2 attacks. So Fletch, up to you.
Ian Snapper. So Is it just like his natural armor, like he's just a scaled thing, or is he wearing like a metal armor?
No, as far as you can tell, it's just natural scale.
Save it. Save it.
Okay, so let's see. I'm gonna move closer.
Okay.
Let's see, where am I? There I am. I'm the leaf, right?
Yep, you're the leaf. I will get your pictures up here at some point. I just haven't had the time.
And then trying to figure out. I had this whole thing I was gonna do, and now I've been thrown off because. Can I wild shape? And then I think I don't know what I want to turn into.
Giant seahorse.
That's not helpful right now.
Turn into a hydra or something.
What is it?
A hydra or something.
I can't turn into a hydra.
advanced.
Not right now.
Snake.
Go for
Can I
an
turn
ape or a
into
black bear.
Hornet.
I was thinking that the giant, or the constrictor snake.
You need to
Well, oh, you have a list of things you can turn into.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna turn into that one. I think that one would be
And
better.
this creature, size-wise, just so you know, is technically large, right? So as you
So the constrictor snake is also large, and then can I grapple it?
So as the action that would take to change your shape would be your action.
Okay. Can Snapper go in for an attack?
Yeah. So you're turning into a giant constrictor snake, right?
Yep.
Do you want to describe? Do you want to describe what your snake looks like?
It is a big
Jafar-esque
snake. I mean, it doesn't have the hood because it's not poisonous. It's just like a big constrictor snake. Oh, Snapper got a 4, so.
It's black and it has probably like its scales look like feathers.
Yeah.
The snake's going.
So as you're changing, Snapper goes into attack and it goes into bite, but as it does, the creature just kind of puts down one of its large feet in front of it, and Snapper kind of has to leap back a little bit to avoid any damage and is able to get close enough.
Okay.
You all set?
Yep, that's it.
Okay,
Just a giant snake.
Mr. Nile, it's up to you. Ian.
I'm going to try something different.
Okay.
And I'll try to use the command spell and tell it to sit.
That's certainly.
You're gonna tell the giant monster to sit.
Can I get away with that?
Let me check again. I just want to read the. You're using command?
Yep.
One word command to a creature you see in range. I have to make a wisdom saving throw. He's not undead, so that's fine. It has no effect if the target's undead or if it doesn't understand your language or if your command is directly harmful to it.
But if I gesture, will it understand the gesture to like stop?
That's pushing it a little bit.
Well, but the whole language thing is really restricted. Because how many friggin' creatures can I use this on if they can only understand?
Well,
there's
actually a lot of creatures that speak. So keep in mind, you're a creature technically. Orcs, goblins, all those are creatures, quote unquote, in D&D world. But in this case, this particular creature actually doesn't have any languages that it necessarily comprehends. So I would say it's a bit hard pressed. Like if you just point and try to say it, he could take that as an attack. It's not going to be something discernible by this particular creature.
Then I think I'll just hit it with my hammer.
That's always a safe backup, honestly.
Can I do the Divine Smite Hunter's Mark thing again, or is that...
we didn't take a... well, you should still have... Hold on.
He should be able to Divine Smite. He has, as long as he has spell slots.
Yeah, that's what I was wanting to check, because you've only used it once, right?
Yep. Only had to.
Yeah, as long as you've got the slots for it.
Alright, let's see what happens. Gotta hit the thing first. 17.
That hits.
All right, here we go.
Can you imagine?
2, 7, 8 on that one. 9, 12.
12 total? 16.
16 total.
So you charge into melee range at the 15 feet. You run in and just swing your hammer down with this sickening thud and crunch, and you see a bit of its armor start to cave just a bit from the force of its blow, for force of your blow, and it reels back and digs its claws in and kind of lashes its head in your direction. But you definitely took a chunk out of it.
Cool. That will end my turn.
Okay. And that brings us back to Vibrant at the top of the round. And I actually forgot that I had battle music for this. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me put that on.
I wasted the
Here we go.
Okay.
Oh no.
It's just a
So much more intimidating.
Yeah, but I'm using
Alright, so there we go. I'm going to sidestep and scoot back down this way to try to keep its attention. And then I'm going to throw a fire. Actually, I'm just going to go full-blown chromatic orb at it.
Okay.
So he's going to see him, you just see Vibrant's going to, kind of palm something, wind back, and just whip a glowing orange orb right at the beast.
Liu Kang style?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
And we are going to 16 on the die plus 6, so 22.
That hits.
Alright. And it's 3d8 fire damage. 6, 6, 12, and 4, so 16 damage. 16 fire damage.
Okay, give me 1 second. I just want to check one thing. Just a second, sorry. You said 16?
Yep.
Okay, so as you cast the orb and the fire damage hits this creature, it does a lot more damage than you thought it would when it strikes. So, Vibrant, describe to me how this creature dies.
The fire orb just kind of smacks it in the side, and it hits the side of the wall, and the rocks kind of crumble and smash right on top of it as it just smolders with fire kind of licking at the rocks.
So the rest of you watch this happen as the chromatic orb hits and the fire just envelops this creature. The rocks start to fall, and this creature falls prone, its legs splayed out, and it appears to be dead.
Appears to be?
It is dead. I just...
Okay. Here.
I have to be careful. You take everything I say literally. I've got to be very careful with that. So,
all about the language.
We go inspect it. We go poke it with a stick.
Yeah.
It's not moving. It's not moving.
Alright. Schedule. Ha! I got it that time.
It was vulnerable to fire damage if you didn't figure that one out. So it was double on the attack.
Yeah, when you questioned it, I was like, oh, fire damage. Here we go. All right. So I look at I go, I mean, that husk probably makes some nice plates, guys.
Is Fletch still a snake right now?
She is.
Just gonna thrash around a little bit, and then I'm gonna back.
You can stay a stick. You just hang out.
Yeah, how long does Wild Shape last? Is that an hour, or how long is that?
I thought it was a couple hours.
I think it's 2 hours. 2 hours, yep. But then I can't carry all my stuff.
No, your stuff gets when you transmorph, it kind of
oh, it just gets absorbed into me.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, that's good.
Gross.
Well, it's also, you got to keep that in mind if you're holding something particular that you, maybe the rest of the party kind of needed, and you're like, I transform. It's like, oh, where did the key we needed go? Oh.
It's inside Fletch.
Yep.
It's inside Fletch.
But so I guess we'll look. I guess do we look around to see if there's tracks to see we're still heading in the right direction for this dragon, or do we want to make camp?
If you want to make a survival check real quick, I can answer the track question. You guys can decide from there what you want to do.
All right.
And timing wise, now it's getting to about 2 to 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You still have a little bit of travel time left. You're not quite at the evening hours yet.
All right.
21 for survival check.
Okay.
Well, for survival.
Okay. Juniper, what'd you get?
1 second.
I got a 14.
14. Okay.
17.
17. Ian.
11.
11. Fletch.
21.
Nice. Duros.
19.
19. So based on the best you guys can tell, given the conditions, you're still heading in the right direction. You don't necessarily have any clear tracks to follow from the beast, but given orientation, north, south, directory, that you feel like you're heading in the right direction still.
Forward.
Yeah, let's keep rolling.
Crunch, 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 crunch.
Okay. So you continue on for another couple of hours. Let me take this off so you don't get confused by the maps. And as you continue, the storm really now is starting to pick up. The winds are starting to howl. The snow is getting extremely thick. Let me see if I have the actual... Here we go. And you hear like the cold lightning in the distance as this is now becoming a blizzard. So as you continue to try to press on, breathing is labored. The temperature has dropped significantly. I need each of you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Ooh.
4.
Hold on 1 sec. Yeah, let's go back in order. So Bog, what'd you get? Con saving throw?
And do it. Hold on a second. 14.
14. Ian?
Dirty 20.
Vibrance?
14.
Fletch?
6.
Duros?
16.
Sorry, Damos, what was yours again?
4.
And Juniper?
12.
So you're continuing to press through. Damos, Fletch, especially to a lesser extent Damos, your breathing is really becoming hard, and your muscles are starting to ache as you start to move through this snow. It's becoming much more challenging for you to keep pace with everybody else in the party. The snowfall continues. You're starting to feel like there's some risk to continue. My survival guys, Bog and Duros. Make a survival check for me.
Can any of us assist them, even if we don't have survival, or is it just to give them advantage on the roll? Or
let's see what they come up with first.
No.
22 for me.
Okay.
12.
12. So Bog, you're kind of like, this sucks, but we can keep going. Duros, you're starting to become concerned. Just given your experience in the wilderness, in nature, in bad weather, you're thinking that this is probably something where you're going to want to find shelter soon, or the party's going to be at risk.
Right. Didn't we see a cave at some point?
Not recently, no. You were looking for some, but you didn't find any.
Well, I'm going to alert everyone else of my thoughts on the situation. We need to find shelter, or we gonna die.
Not opposed
Thoughts?
to finding shelter. Not
Thoughts?
opposed.
Concerns?
Fletch is over here like,
We can shelter up against that's out of the wind. I don't know what the terrain is. You move on from that last map.
Yeah, you've moved on. You're still in the mountainous terrain. There's really, you haven't seen anything that you've passed that would be shelter. So it feels like you could either try to make a camp or you could try to move or continue to move forward with the hopes of finding something that might be conducive to a camp.
How long? Sorry. How
okay.
long would it take to rip the plates off of the creature we killed?
I mean, I'd have you probably make at least a medicine check to determine like what you could do with it. It would not be trivial. It would be a bit of a challenge to take the plates off, just at a first glance.
I was thinking like stick them right
medicine, so I guess I could do it.
Well, I was just thinking if we rip them off and stick them around like in a circle, almost make like, you know, in survival shows, they make like the wall out of sticks to reflect fire back at them.
I don't think this is big. It's not like hippopotamus sized. It's like medium sized, bear sized.
Well,
No,
it's
large.
It's a large creature. Yeah, it's good size. Yeah.
That might work if we had something at our backs. We might use that as a face against the wind.
Makeshift armor shields.
And as you guys are contemplating this and you're trying to figure out your next path, you hear in the distance, make you know what, you don't need a perception check for this. It comes across the winds fairly clearly. You hear these unearthly howls, like wolf howls, like, and they're these deep, bellowing howls that seem to come from multiple directions at once, cutting through this punishing blizzard. You think it could be wolves, but you're like, no, it can't be. You know, these are the howls are very peculiar sounding, as if they're coming from something almost bigger, something unnatural.
Something supernatural.
Make it. I need everybody to make another survival check, as this is all happening.
I'm gonna look for a giant cutlass car that's gonna have 2 people in it.
I hate mummies.
Bog.
Survival, you say?
Yes.
Natural 20 for a 25.
Nice.
Clutch.
Ian.
8.
Vibrant.
11.
Fletch.
6.
Same as last time. Duros.
Also packing 11.
Deimos.
5.
Juniper.
14.
So that these howls continue. You're pushing through the storm. The howls continue. The group as a whole now is very disoriented. The snow is coming in thicker. The wind's picking up. There's a sense of urgency now that's developing in each of you. You think you're still on the right path. You're not quite sure. You're pushing ahead, but this feeling that you need to get to safety and you need to find safety now is becoming overwhelming amongst everyone. Who's in the lead again? Vibrant and Bog. You're in the 2 in the front. I need you to make a perception check for me, please. Everybody else is just trying to keep track, so you're looking at the person in front of you, trying to stay forward.
I got a 20. Dirty 20.
14.
14. Okay. So, Bog, you're just as disoriented as everyone, but Vibrant, as you're moving through, you can just make out in the distance, and the howls are still coming, and they're coming closer. You can make out in the distance what looks to be a large shape, but it doesn't look natural because you see like 90-degree angles, right? Those don't occur in nature. It looks like some sort of structure ahead of you, kind of in an encase of the mountainside. And it's probably at this stage about, I'd say, 100 yards in front of you. But you only get glimpses of it as the wind starts to cut through and you see this dark shadow.
No, I'll I'll like point. I'll just be like, seems to be maybe shelter down the way.
Just keep it on. Head down.
Keep it on.
Bob is going to give Vibrant the rope, a piece of it, throw it back, and be like, everybody just hold on to the rope so no one gets lost. Kind of like when you take kindergartners nowadays anywhere, it's like...
We're all gonna, well, I'm gonna take the rope.
Well, we're in the back, so if it doesn't get passed down, we're not going to get anything.
Well, that's fair.
So what about the guys in the middle? Ian, Deimos, Juniper. So
I'm gonna hold on to the rope.
okay.
We'll grab the rope, pass it down.
Yep, I grab the rope, pass it back.
So everybody now has got the buddy system. You're all tethered together with this rope, or at least holding on to it. Vibrant, you're pushing forward. The snow it's heavy for all of you to walk through. You're now having to lift, your feet like 12, 18 inches. It feels like deep footfalls. You stumble a bit as you move forward, and wind blowing against your face. But as you get closer and closer, so now 75 yards, 50 yards.
So,
yes.
Is a rope? Would you say 25 feet of rope fits into like a 1 by 1 foot cube?
Yeah, easily. Yeah, I could say. Yeah.
All right. I'll use prestidigitation and I'll warm the whole rope up. So anyone that's holding the rope, their hands are warm.
Nice. I like that. So yeah. So all of those behind you, you start to feel almost like when you're in a pool or a bath, and all of a sudden the water gets warm in a space. But you start to feel the rope start to become warm in your hands, and the warmth at first it almost burns. It's almost too hot because of how cold your hands are. But then you quickly settle into some comfort, and some numbness starts to dissipate as you're holding on.
Taylor wraps himself around it as we're going.
So 25 yards. And from here now you can see this is a large 2-story structure, stone structure, that rises out of the snow in front of you. Judging by the building's state of disrepair and the lack of lights, this hasn't seen use in a very long time. But still, this structure may work as a temporary reprieve from the storm and whatever is approaching.
That is all I'm assuming we care about at this point. So I'm just going to keep walking towards it and going in, trying to get away out of the storm.
As we get within 60 feet, I want to use Divine Sense.
Hang on, I just want to read that real quick. Just want to make sure I give you the right stuff with that. Yep. Detect good and evil until the end of your next turn, since anything unaffected within 60 feet, that it's not behind total cover. So you use your Divine Sense.
Cover.
Well, total cover would be like if it's behind a wall, or if it's, let's say it's inside the building, you wouldn't necessarily be able to sense it from outside.
All right. So I'll save it for when we get up to the port.
Okay.
I'll use it.
So as you approach this large structure, the first thing that you come to is a large portcullis that is down. It's a large iron gate. It's going to need to be lifted in order to get in. But above that, covered in ice and snow, you see the words Havenfell across the top of the portcullis, carved in stone. Again, covered in ice. Some of it's chipped away just over time. But this portcullis would need to be raised in order to get in.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, can we all lift it together and do a strength test?
Well, whoever has the highest strength, maybe we can give them advantage on the roll, so that way they can lift it up.
And I would say for purposes of this, the width of the portcullis is I would say it's about 8 feet. So I would say easily, probably 3 of you could get together on it. So what I would do is if the 3 strongest want to attempt to lift it, we could either do it together, or we could give give advantage to one. So decide what you want to do. So who's the strongest? I think it's probably Bog. Who else?
I'm a 16 plus 3.
Okay, so Knight. Okay.
13 plus 1.
I'm a Dexy kitty cat. It ain't me.
Odd Leader not only has a strength of 10.
Oh, that's so disappointing. I just that just shatters my illusions now of Bog. It's you know what? This is the post-steroid trial Bog. This isn't the pre-steroid trial Bog.
So, well, he's shredded. He's not like
okay.
he's Randy Savage. He's not Hulk Hogan or Andre the Giant.
So whoever wants to step up to the gate, who has the highest strength, and they can roll with advantage.
I guess I have a +1 to strength, so I guess I am.
I have a +1.
Can 3 people step up to the gate and Vibrant use his telekinesis? Of course, it doesn't have to be like in front of a gate.
Wait, is +1 a high strength?
Well,
Apparently in this group.
Well, no, because I think Ian, you have +3, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I just
Ian,
rolled a 17.
You rolled a 17.
Yeah.
Okay, why don't so Ian steps up to the gate and you see him grab the iron portcullis, and he starts to pull, and it's between the cold and the frozen and the iron and the stone. It's just not quite budging. So as you guys step up to help him, roll it again with advantage. So roll it one more time, Ian.
Are we looking to get it up, just to hold it up, or just up and out of the way?
Just up to allow you to enter, to hold it up, kind of position.
On the second.
What was that, a 15?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're pulling it and you feel it scrape and you feel it raise a bit, but it's just not quite budging just yet. The wind's still coming, the howls are still coming.
Can I use telekinesis to shove it out of the way the rest of the way? Like up and while he's picking it up, just kind of like
yeah,
step over
you know
and
what?
just kinda, like, throw it back out.
As he's doing that, I'll allow you to use telekinesis to assist. Yeah. So you had a 17 on the first roll, right, Ian?
Yeah.
Okay, so for this I had a DC of, I'm metagaming a little bit, DC of 18. I'd say with telekinesis it's enough to boost that up. So he feels it give, and Ian, you're kind of thinking, wow, I'm actually stronger than I thought I was. As this portcullis raises up, and you're able to get it to clear so everybody can come in to what is almost like a man trap. It's about a 10-foot hallway that leads to a set of double oaken doors that are beyond this gate.
Bog rolls an 18 to take one of the bones he hasn't carved yet, like with the big hefty bones, and just like jam it under the portcullis so it can't fall down and kill anyone trying to get underneath it.
Yep. So that locks it in place for now. The heavy, you feel the bone creak a bit, but it's definitely going to hold as everybody moves in. And now you're faced with two thick pine plank doors of this building hanging on heavy iron hinges. But as you look at these and you're getting ready to kind of, again, force your way through, you notice that the doors themselves have been broken. And so as you push them, they open freely, and you can enter into this keep, for lack of a better term.
And now I would like to use my divine sense.
Okay. So as you enter in, and are you keeping the portcullis up behind you? Are you doing anything as you move? As everybody moves in, are you just keeping everything wide open, or you are keeping it wedged up?
Yeah, I think Bog wedged it up, so it wouldn't hurt to leave it wedged up.
I could pull it out. I mean, do we want to make sure nothing's in here with us first, or close it to make sure nothing comes in with us?
Leave it open for the moment in case we got to beat a retreat. I mean, hopefully the snow isn't worse than whatever we're looking at.
I figure if we had to lift it up, he figures it's only 10 feet, so he figures like at least we can get the heck out of here if we had to.
Yeah.
Well, Bog will tell you that he could always cast Gust of Wind to knock the bone out of the way if you have to drop it quickly.
There we go.
Yeah.
That sounds good too.
So let me do this real quick.
Probably not a good idea for me to cast Thunderwave in here. No, not a good idea. No, kind of not good.
Are there icicles above us?
Not where you are currently. Now,
okay.
Yeah.
He mentions that as like. No?
Somebody getting killed.
Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to queue all this up, and then. So, as you cut through the portcullis, and it should change here in a second. Come on, guys, where is it? Sorry, this is a fairly big map, so apparently it's there we go.
Loading. We are almost there.
Come on.
98%.
It's really funny that this is like doing what it's doing. Anyway, so you enter. I'll fix that later. So as you enter in to these doors, and Ian, your divine sense, the radiance, kind of your eyes shimmer for a second as you look across the room. You don't see anything that stands out at the moment. Fiends, celestial, undead, but also it's dark in here, and all of you, even with your dark vision, the darkness is almost. That's not exactly what I wanted to show, but thank you, Owlbear. Hang on a second. Let me change this back. Okay, I gotta fix all that later. So anyway, so the darkness in here is, even for those with dark vision, it's hard for you to see. Like, it feels like where you could normally see 60 odd feet, you feel like even that is dim. It's like 20. It's almost unnatural in its darkness. But you're inside. It doesn't appear like an imminent threat. The storm is behind you, and that's where we're going to stop for this week. And we'll pick up here next time. And actually, we're going to be playing again next week because we're doing back to back. So we'll pick up where we are here, and we'll see what's ahead of you. So,
Yay.
Woo!
Good.
Thank you, guys. That was fun. That was thrilling. I'm curious to see what happens next. Ian, your divine sense. I was like, well, let me see. No, not yet. So,
so that makes me think, not yet. That not too distant future.
Doesn't divine sense for dragons.
So we will be back next week. So we're doing a back-to-back gaming session, which we usually take a break in between. We're kind of condensing
Still
a bit.
going. The stream is still going.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're wrapping up now. We're wrapping up. No, that's good. I'm glad. No, that's
Okay.
good. Thanks. So we'll be back in next week. We'll pick up from here. As we get into May, it's going to be a little bit more loosey-goosey. We've got a couple gaming sessions scheduled, but they're going to be a little more intermittent between Mother's Day, Memorial Day weekend, and just other commitments. So we've got our schedule posted online. But thanks to all the players. This was fun. I think you guys are probably going to be sick and tired of Wilderness Encounters after this, but we'll do a little something different next time. And for those who watched, thank you so much. We'll be back next week. Like us here, follow us on Twitch, YouTube every Tuesday. The recordings will follow. Facebook, Instagram, all that other fun stuff. The more you guys like and share and subscribe, the more people who watch, and the more we get to do. But with that said, have a wonderful rest of the weekend, and we'll see you in a week. So
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Chloe! It's Chloe!